All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us on this wonderful Thursday evening for some more D&D right here on Lionhead Gaming. And since it's Thursday, that means it's time for some more Song of Rapture. So, without further ado, let me turn down the depressing music and pass it on over to Monsieur Omen.
Heyo. So it's been a week, more than a week, since our last session. We found our valiant vanguard traveling across the world as they usually do with instantaneous magic, finding themselves away from the lush green of a far-off land and now in the bright golden sea of a desert, in search of something that perhaps was recently lost and must be replaced. And along the way, it seems they found some trouble that they need to solve. But what exactly transpired on the last session of Song Rapture is not really my story to tell, so please, before we get into some very interesting combat, can someone tell us what happened on that last episode of the good old Song of Rapture?
Yeah, welcome back. When last we left our heroes, they had arrived in the wonderful city of Roka thanks to Persephone's magic. The valiant vanguard joining Mandri Khan in his garden, enjoying tea and eventually some conversation with him. Tamar Khan's brother seemed acutely aware of the last time we visited and how certain events between Mandri and his brother transpired, with Tamar taking the risk of drugging his brother so he could use his mystical crown to garner some of the wisdom of the previous Khans. Though Mandri wasn't overtly sore with the whole vanguard for this, thankfully, shortly after this, the vanguard made their way to the grand arena of Roka and arrived just in time to catch the end of a contest between Corin, also known as the Dragon, and the poor sap who'd tried to fight him. Through a combination of remarkable durability and a great deal of strength, and a dash of annoying banter, Corin's challenger found themselves on their back, carted out on a stretcher, and nary a scratch on Corin himself. The latest champion of the arena was victorious once again, and within moments, Mandri Khan called out the presence of the previous champions, the valiant vanguard being in attendance, calling special attention to his brother Tamar, and in moments roped Tamar into a 1v1 match to first yield against Corin. Tamar, always down for a fun time and to put on a show, entered the arena free of any tricks or support from his allies, wanting this to be a fair contest. This, along with his flair for showmanship, would prove to be his undoing. This tough little halfling weathered Tamar Khan's bros like they were a soft morning breeze and delivered clawing strikes with his strange magical shovel with impeccable accuracy. In the end, the fight was clearly skewed after the first few moments, and Corin was victorious and Mandri's thirst sated. In short order, the rest of the valiant vanguard descended into the arena to meet this latest champion and get a few impressions of him. Between the conversations both in the arena and later on in his apartment that he'd invited everyone to, the vanguard quickly realized our goals and objectives more or less aligned. This curious, talkative, and powerful man had something stolen from him by servants of the Sovereign. The Sovereign being the malevolent entity, seemingly orchestrating the most widespread problem in Hearth, the thinning of the veil between realms. Apparently, Corin had his name taken from him, and seeked us out at the advisement of the Incantation of Tin to join forces against the Sovereign. This information, served alongside a disgustingly delicious meal of stewed monster parts and vile toxins and ichors, was a lot to stomach. On top of that, as the dessert course for some of the group, was the emotional sundae that is the recent loss of the beloved Luna as she departed from the Vanguard to finally track down her parents. Nevertheless, their roster could use powerful allies. Samantha, in the midst of identity crisis ice cream and depressive spiral syrup, after losing Luna at a very vulnerable time, is being colder than this metaphor and was less than enthusiastic about this replacement. Wanting to test Corin's mind, she bewitched him, frozen in place with no effort. With that, she resigned herself to her bowl, adding absolute disappointment sprinkles to the mix. That said, she and the rest of the Vanguard were very curious about what Corin had meant when he said he lost his name, along with some other strange turns of phrase and sentences that just didn't make sense. There was obviously more to him than meets the eye. Later on, a commotion in Roka broke out on the far eastern side of the city, near the Silky River, I believe. An impeccable gambling and pleasure house run by the beautiful Nuzo Hintha, a former lover and business associate of Quildor's. Apparently, a number of customers had been kidnapped by a presumed group of Yuan-Ti cultists, most likely working with the same group out towards Cradle Keep. They'd even stolen 2 of Nuzo's larger, well-armed and armored sand skimmers. The people in the district were outraged, and a barely contained mob surrounded the establishment. Now, in a moment that might have found Samantha using her silver tongue to defuse the situation and spin it in her group's favor, she stood idle, staring off into the sand, barely listening to the screaming masses. It was Quildor, the ever-capable, level-headed knight who spoke both wisdom and diplomacy, wrapped in a stern and grim determination that the valiant Vanguard would see to it that these fair citizens be returned home at once. It was with this the mob backed down, with barely a grumble. Nuzo thanked and embraced Quildor, explained the situation in greater detail, providing us with rough direction, along with her last skimmer, a smaller, lighter, but significantly faster vessel, and a supply of metal restraints at Samantha's request. With Tamar and Swift Hollow's impeccable tracking and survival skills, Quildor's astute sailing, and a bit of luck, the valiant Vanguard have found and caught up to their quarry. Join us now for the sand-faring verse of the Song of Rapture.
Very well done. Give yourself some DM inspiration.
Yeah, I gotta go get some ice cream now. I'll be back in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're legally required to buy me ice cream after this session.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, but you're not depressed.
This session
Am
is
I
sponsored
though?
I'm
by
depressed
Cold
if I
Stone.
don't get ice cream.
You already have DM
I
inspiration?
wish we were sponsored by Cold Stone.
Huh?
Oh, that'd be delicious.
Did you already have
I
DM inspiration?
Of course I have
Asking.
DM inspiration.
Oh,
Come
well,
on
there
now.
we are. Well, then roll yourself a D100.
You might as well duck. Oh, nice. Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
All right,
Perfection.
Omen, you got this. I'll drive the boat. I'm gonna go get some ice cream.
Pranked.
Not bad. Let's see.
Imagine
Oh,
if I
hey,
actually
wow.
fucking
Okay, look
left,
at that.
though. That'd be crazy.
I would
Let's
take
see.
over the stream.
Well, all right. It's
I
going to be
mean,
really
we
funny.
just,
Okay, cool.
Get that lube in.
As indeed we find our valiant Vanguard out sailing through the high tide of the White Sea, a time in which the sands surrounding these cities closest to its heart become loose, almost liquid-like, more akin to quicksand than anything else, requiring the use of these vessels to traverse. And it seems as if what's normally a peaceful, albeit quiet and calm traversing of these sands is the commonplace of this travel. Today, our heroes find themselves in the middle of a dangerous skimmer chase, finding themselves tailing after 2 groups of Yuan-Ti, those who seem to be in line with that of a strange cult growing in this desert. Within their midst, within their collection, seems to be a number of hostages, seemingly taken willingly or otherwise. It's uncertain they are unseen. We find the valiant Vanguard just reaching about 150, close to 200 feet just behind this group of ships, seeing the serpent folk standing atop them, recognizing their approach, and moving to arm themselves. As I'm going to need everyone to give me some initiative rolls.
Alright, tomorrow roll well, you fucker.
Ooh, 20's pretty
20?
good.
20, not bad.
I expected nothing less from my rolls.
Okay, Corin, don't roll 20.
Danny rolled 9.
He's got advantage.
Oh,
He,
those are
he
automatically.
rolls his with advantage. Yeah, this is
Oh, okay.
automatically.
Yours is
Yeah.
automatically too. You have 14.
Does it do it automatically? Oh,
Yeah,
balls.
you roll.
Yeah, you're dead.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
Quad
Dirty
advantage.
cheater rolled 4 initiative.
And whoopsie doodles.
No, Swift Hollow rolled a 27? What?
That is pretty alright. I just needed
Hell
to
yeah,
make it higher than
sweet.
Corin. That's all I cared about.
Having plus 5 is basically advantage in flat rolls.
I
so
don't
having
know
plus
why I
10 is
thought I was
super
gonna-
advantage.
I don't know why I thought I was gonna roll anything higher than a 10. I haven't rolled anything higher than a 10 in years.
Dang, Swift Hollow. As yeah,
Got
with
it.
initiative rolled, Swift Hollow, you do have a moment if you want to use your reaction before your turn to
I'm
move. You're good? Okay,
I'm
cool.
with that.
Then Swift Hollow comes to your turn, and you can see the snake folks seem to be scrambling to grab onto weapons, arm themselves, some of them taking hands on the ballistas on the backs of these ships. What do you do?
Yeah, Swithal just kind of studies it for a moment before trying to turn it into position. I guess it's just a really big crossbow, huh? And she loads up one of the ballistae, these giant javelin-sized things, takes aim at, I guess, this snake at the ballista, and shoots it.
Let's see, how far away are you from it? 150.
Just be normal.
150.
You would have advantage on the shot because it hasn't had a move yet, but it is just beyond your normal range, so it'd be a normal shot. Give me that attack
Alright,
roll.
how do I get... Alright, someone give me super advantage. Give me the advantage to cancel out the advantage. I'm pretty sure that's how
Bonus
this
action
works.
aim.
But I mean, you already have advantage because you're going ahead of it because you're an assassin.
Yeah.
But you also have disadvantage because your range is 120 feet and that thing's 150 feet away
So
from
if
you.
she bonus action aim, she gets one more instance of advantage, and everyone knows that's how it
Slide
works.
this back a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's
There we go.
100% how the advantage-disadvantage system works.
There we are.
Bang. 17.
Let's see. Ooh! As it goes flying through the air, this harpoon, really more like a javelin, flies through the air with a sudden jolt. This thing, thankfully, strapped to the side of the ship would otherwise kick in your hand quite hard. But it goes flying and strikes this creature right into her side. You see her immediately writhe in pain as this giant javelin sticks into her flesh. It seems like she's not wearing any armor, so quite an easy hit, as that will do a hearty amount of damage. Ah! As she
Oh,
almost
that's fun.
topples over to the side, but then pulls herself back on top.
Not much in the way of aiming it, though. Oh well. As... Action, bonus action. Yeah, that's all she got.
All
I don't think
right.
she can really try to hide, so...
Dude on the other side of the ship seems to be holding on to the helm, taking a good firm hold, looking around past the ship. You can hear him calling out, and what seems to be a tongue that some of you might know, that of Draconic, seems to be hissing out a bit through the, I guess, blowing sands and wind. Sounds like clear orders, but what exactly he's saying is kind of hard to tell. Let's see. No, it's not you. There you are. Seems to be ordering people on the ship. Hey, as the creature that just got a shot turned at her pulls herself back onto the ballista, turns in your direction, Swift Hollow, aims the ballista towards you, and is gonna fire it.
Good luck.
What just says?
No.
Goes flying right over the ship and crashes into the sand behind you. As on each side here, you can see these creatures begin to take arm. As, let's see, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Yep, the one on the northern side of this ship seems to take her own ballista, aim it towards you guys. There's a moment trying to discern who exactly she's aiming at until the bolt goes flying straight towards the side of your ship. Ka-chunk. Ooh. And the javelin seems to pierce right into the side, tearing off a large board, dealing 15 piercing damage. It'll be 135. As you can see, sand starting to spill inside before you seem to pull off of it. Quite a hardy wound, but that's all it's able to do on its turn. That person's sitting there holding. Perfect. This creature here, not much you can do. Actually, yeah, why the hell not? You'll see this other creature, a Yuan-Ti. At first it looks like one of the humanoid ones until it gets close to the edge of this mount. And you can see her lower body seems to be held aloft by a long winding tail. Thankfully out of its reach, but you do see from her side a long stringed bow get drawn out. She holds it up to the air, points at the sky, and then launches something of a long-range attack. Actually, I can go right closer. There you go, mama. As a shot will be flying straight to the air, high, and then come down right on top of you, Quildor. As you're getting a longbow coming at you.
Radar above!
There we are.
Just shoots at it. I just bat it away with a gauntlet.
Flies off into the sand. Nice. This creature down here. Let's see. You're the same. Hey, look at that. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're going after you. Another shot coming at you, Quildor, Mr. Dude at the helm. Fuck that one away, too. Not quite hardy things, but you do see there's a bit of smear of some ichor on your gauntlet as you knock him away. Something dangerous you don't want to get on you. As Tamarkand comes to you.
Tamar delayed a little bit. He's got a bag up over his shoulder that just a second ago stretched out. Corin walked up into as he's looking over his shoulder. Wait for my signal, yes? We'll be there in a moment. As he pulls back around, bow in hand, as he pulls an arrow. Then fire, yes! And 1, 2, 3 arrows go flying back to the backside of this ship, returning fire to these creatures at the ballista and this bowed creature itself, as they are just within that 150 feet. As,
All right.
2 shots going at Ballista Girl, and 1 breaking the horde, spraying the back side of the ship with arrows, going after the northern lady. So
You're shooting from where exactly you're at?
Yeah.
You will have a little bit of cover as you're trying to shoot around the mast.
Fun.
I'm supposed to shoot a blue
Whoops.
ship.
I move myself. Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. I'm shooting a lady on the boat. On
The ballista.
the ballista. God, my brain.
Gotcha. You got it.
Ooh,
Ooh, as that'll connect, flying around the mast and striking true. Ooh, doing
Just
a
11,
good 11 damage. Oh, still landing on the other side of her shoulder, sort of opposite end of where her the current harpoon is being pried out of her. 11, nice. As it seems
Another
like she is
shot.
not doing well.
19
Oh, as
to
that'll
hit her.
also connect. That'll definitely connect. She is not wearing armor.
Well,
Ooh, as this one catches her closer to the chest, you see her actually reel away from the ballista, almost stepping off, as she seems to be not in a good way at all.
as the last one going up towards the creature ahead of her, as the 2 arrows strung on 1 string flying out, hitting her for 9. As seems like Tamar jerks his body ever so slightly, getting a different angle, pointing away from these creatures on this ship. Here we go. Let us ride upon the string, my friend. As seems like he pulls back on the bow, no arrow in hand, but it seems like this strange, just white light starts to appear on the bow, as it seems like a small thread floating loosely attaches onto his shoulder, right above where he's pulling back the string. As he looses it, it seems like an arrow flies out of the bow, but disappears almost immediately, just sparking through the air, aiming over here. And as it lands, it seems like that tiny thread goes taut, and it almost seems to pull and unravel Tamar as he just pops out of existence, appearing down here on the sled as he uses his phasing recurve, spending its charges as a bonus action, teleporting himself to the front of the boat.
Nice. As you would definitely disappear and reappear right on the edge of that sled with your bag and all its contents in tow.
Yep, as I item interaction, wheel the bag up off my shoulder and then clonk it down to the base of the boat and just look down at the partially open hole at the top of the bag. You're up next. And leave this one to you. Have fun! As he looks up and calls to the rest of these creatures on the boat and just leaps himself backwards off the boat at a bit of an angle, leaping onto the sand as the skitterers start to go flying by. Although, as soon as he hits the sand, he rolls and just starts running after this side of the boat, trying to take up speed and trying to keep up the best he can. But it seems like he's cutting a pretty harsh line across. As that's
Nice. All right, good shit. 1 second. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Wonderful. As on top of this ship, not seeming to realize, besides some of its allies being shot, that one of the enemies teleported directly onto the ship, save for the shimmering light. This one creature steps forward towards the end of the boat. You see, it's not a Yuan-ti you'd seen before. You faced these creatures earlier. This one slightly different. You faced Yuan-ti whose heads seem to be made like that of a serpent's, but this one seems to be a bit more encompassing. Its body covered in silk and flowing robes, but you can see the scales don't just stop at its neck. They continue to flow all over the rest of its body, running down its entire form, hands and legs, and even the feet that seem to clatter bare across the wooden planks. This thing is almost entirely snake. You can see its fingers beginning to curve as it looks out to you and calls out in a tongue you all know that of common. You should not pursue. Stay. Calm yourselves. As you see its hands begin to wave. Right? Yeah. Come on. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, ow,
Counter spell by throwing my
ow.
shovel at him.
Yeah, she'll step out. Yeah, she'll pop down to the edge here, pushing past her allies, getting herself just to the edge of the ship. I think that's right. Oh God, why is it not working? Oh God, my body. There we are, perfect. As to the front of the ship, I think only Quillor and Samantha. You'd see this thing's hands waver, and its scales shimmer so gently in the light, until that light seems to strangely enough carry just at the front of the ship in a small burst of light that catches both you, Samantha, and Quillor in the eyes. As I'm going to need both of you to give me some wisdom saving throws, feeling your minds beginning to dull as if you're being charmed.
Well, Quillor's gonna fail this because he always fails his charms.
Hey, well done.
Yep, we needed
You
a
got it
30.
this time.
You're plus
Let's
9 and
see.
your advantage. Get out of here.
Hey, we've seen
I
it before,
failed
man.
2
This is-
charms.
That is true. Okay.
I guess he's just not attracted to scalies. It's okay.
As in this shimmering desert, Samantha, you see this flash of light, and whatever thought you had in your mind begins to fade ever so slightly until you're just sort of lost in the moving sands, the rolling wind around you. As it seems like you are not only charmed by this display, even the voice of this creature, strangely enough, as disgusting as it is, but it also seems like you find yourself unable to truly act, unable to truly think. You are, for all intents and purposes, incapacitated, just sort of standing there in a stupor. Have you been hypnotic pattern? Nope, that's not right. There we go. Hypnotic pattern.
120 feet, 30-foot cube.
What else is there? That's it. Perfect. Alrighty. And you on the ship. Oh, hello. As you make your way across the sand, Tamar Khan, you can see one of these creatures slither its way close to the edge of the ship, seeing this intruder getting close. This thing slithering across the boards. It pulls out its bow and aims in your direction, and it's going to fire a shot right at you.
Oh shit.
Here comes a bow. Ooh, 20. Assuming that doesn't hit. Ooh, gets close though.
I do not have my bar out, but thankfully, because I cheated and you didn't say otherwise, as we were approaching these boats, as I was getting my friendly little friendo in the bag. A bit of incantation, a blessing from Ressus, as Tamar does have his strange, wild-like armor equipped to getting
Sure.
his 22 AC.
Sure. As it bounces off your armor.
The 10-minute buff! It's fine! Fuck you! We were pursuing him! I had plenty of time!
Let's see, that's all you can do there. And let's see, Snake Girl there. Perfect. Wunderval. Okay. Oh, golly. Okay. As on the other ship, I guess you would have seen it for a moment, Tamar Khan. These creatures boarding the vessel see you land and then immediately try to pursue you until you quickly dart off. Other creatures you've faced before look like humans, just like normal Yuan-ti, except rather than having arms, these writhing, hissing serpents seem to lash out in the air, almost with their own mind at you. Shoot. I don't think they can. Yeah. Let's see.
I like his
Eeny,
like
meeny, miny,
Italian mobster face too.
I'm gonna get you. Let's see. Okay.
Obviously
Yeah.
talks with his hands.
As one of them would make its way to the edge of the ship, sort of peering after you, has no way of approaching you or clearly using any weapons to fire after you. But it does seem to, its ally does seem to sort of slink down to the ship, and he's going to try and investigate the bag, the giant duffel bag essentially you just dropped. Are you hiding inside corn, or are you just chilling?
I guess I'm just in the bag, not necessarily hiding.
And it's open, right, Tamarcon?
Yeah, the top of the mouth is like a little bit open, so you can see light up the top of it. It's only like 4 feet deep, so.
Yeah, okay. He's gonna try and peer inside. Let's see. He's willing to do that. Easy enough. Yeah. Bag open. This thing kind of stops, and you can see over the edge, Corn, a snake head and a snake head as this thing peers over the edge down at you. Infiltrator! As a pair of snakes are coming down after you. One going after you. Bah! Ooh, 25.
Yep, that'll hit.
As snakes reach down, chomp down to one shoulder. Second one comes biting down as well. Chomp. 14. Ooh. Does not hit.
Yes.
How do you defend against it while in the bag?
The bag is pretty spacious. Why? I think the only thing that's in the bag is like
Yeah, a bedroll,
Bedroll?
like some ratchet
Yeah.
in there. But it's like 4 feet deep, and I think it's like 5 by 5.
Again, ours don't have spaces in them. They're just, you open the bag, you're in a thing. So it's like, if you're near the opening of the bag, you're just kind of in there. You can see it.
well as I
2
see
feet diameter.
snakes coming at me.
Oh yeah, the
first
bag's
one
like 4 feet tall.
kind of surprised, and then as the other one comes in, I just kind of take the bedroll and use it to just block the next snake bite as he pulls out and just has a bedroll.
Just chomps into its mouth, stuck onto its fangs, waving it around in the air. Let's go! As that's gonna be its turn. Let's see. Ooh. Tamarcon, give me a perception check.
Uh-oh.
Just doing it. Ooh, 25.
Ooh, nice. As you're running along the sand, again, you feel like it should be liquid beneath your feet, but pitter patter, it rises and falls beneath you. You have your buoyancy able to move, deflecting away an arrow in your direction, and you see, really feel beneath your feet a sudden shift in the sand as you look over, and to it looks like maybe from the east or northeastern end of this battlefield, there is a mound running, or I guess pushing its way through the sand towards you. This rising spike like a fin, followed by another and another and another, making what seems to be a straight beeline in your direction, stopping just maybe about 50 or so feet to the side, but it gets larger and larger until you can see clearly cutting through the sand are rows of spikes. There's something large here, probably about as large as the largest beast you've ever faced. As Persephone, it's your turn.
Panic. Persephone, as a bonus action, she's just going to click her heels together, click, click, so that she has essentially the effect of the haste spell with her little quickling boots. And let's see, I'm up here. I don't suppose, can I see Samantha from where I'm at, or is the sail blocking her?
Oh, you can certainly see her. She's on, like, the big old bar is basically above her, and the sails just above her as well. She seems to be standing there in a stupor.
Oh no, that doesn't look good. Okay. I'm going to zip in front of Samantha, and I'm going to use my action to shake her awake.
All right. Grab her by the shoulders,
If
shake
We need to. Samantha, wake up! Samantha!
till all the sparks out of your eyes fade, and you're back to normal, Samantha.
Hey.
What was that?
Magic! Probably magic. Most likely magic.
Thank you, Persephone.
I'm gonna try to get as close as I can. And I am going to take my little haste dash action, and oh my gosh, the map is moving. As I tried to drag Persephone, that's not where I wanted to drag her.
Uh-oh. That's
It's
okay.
okay. I'll put her back here. I
There
moved
you go.
20, and then because math. All right, so that's 60, and then the haste would take me another 80. My haste dash.
If you use your haste action to dash, yes, ma'am.
Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. Persephone's wings are like, she's just going to zip on over the sand, but that's all I can do.
And you're how high off the ground?
Fuck. I probably
You're-
went up 20, I imagine.
Okay,
15, 20.
okay.
Let's
Just
settle on
making sure.
20.
As you look down, flying just 20 feet over these rising and falling dunes, you'd see growing that close, yeah, again, right here in this massive mound, a familiar shape you saw from the distance before, rows of spikes in this long shape making his way directly towards where Tamarkan is running.
Oh, we have friends! That's all for me.
All right, as Corin, snake biting your shoulder. Something just took your shield. That was a bedroll, but it seems like you're on an enemy ship now. What do you do, bud?
Did we decide if it was an action for me to get out of the bag?
You can just hop out. It's fine.
Left it open.
Yeah, as it just hop out, just like look at the bite on my shoulder and look at this man. That was really rude. Kind of hurt. You wouldn't happen to be the leader of this boat, would you?
What are you talking about? I'll make it painless next time.
I'm gonna assume that's a no. As I'm gonna just jump. Is this like level with the other boat?
You are 5 feet beneath the rest of the ship, but with your strength and size, you can probably jump up to the edge quite easily.
Yeah, I'm gonna just first, my hair is going to glow bright red as the heat just emanates off my body as I will rage. As he just takes 7 fire damage.
It's just creatures.
And then I'm gonna just hop on over. Just ignore him.
And this guy probably would take it too, just from the distance. Let's see. Both these creatures get flashed with fire.
Yeah, just hop on over.
Oh, that's wrong. Oh,
Oh,
God,
God.
he got so burned just kidding. He's just too hot. And just hop on over.
Yep.
Seems like, actually... just when you get to the edge there, Corin, once you pull over the edge past it, you'd see finally his hands snake out, extending quite far, actually, about 10 feet just to reach you as you step just outside of its range. As one big old bite's coming at you. Another 20, snapping in the back,
Ooh.
doing a total of 17 damage.
So,
That's
well,
17.
the 4
Half
plus.
is that you're raging, that's right. So, 13 damage.
Nope, I'm resistant to.
Oh, that's right, you are! Heck yeah, baby!
Yeah.
Look at you.
As I'm gonna look at this other snake arm guy, I'm gonna assume he's not the captain either.
Doesn't
based
seem
on
like
the
it.
looks. Because I'm going to also just move over to this guy at the helm and just kind of peer over him. You have a snake for a head. You know, I have a new friend that has snake for hair. As I'm just gonna kind of grapple him and
Okay.
move him off the helm.
As you turn talking to him, he's kind of like tilting his head towards you, then looks down in surprise as you're just standing there talking to him. What do you As he tries to grab him. He's going to try and slip away. Actually, he's going to try and fight you with his amazing strength. Ooh.
Holy shit, Corin.
As, what does it look like when you grapple this guy, Corin, with your amazing tiny strength?
Yes, I'm probably a bit smaller than this guy. I'm actually just going to grab him by his arm, just crush his arm so much that he just kind of cringes underneath the pain and just kind of moves the way I want him to move. So I'm going to try and just kind of move him, just like over here,
Stop!
like turn him around.
As you literally pry him off the helm, you can see the other serpent man now turning to face you, watching in disbelief as this child-sized creature, literally just one arm, lifts, pulls, and drags a larger serpent away from its helm.
So I'll just move up to the helm and just take control over it and just look at him, just like, so where exactly is your manager? I would like to file a formal complaint.
What is this fool doing on our ship? Get him off! Throw him to the worms!
So are you're the captain?
He doesn't answer you.
Can I crush his arm to make him answer me? Try and make him answer me?
Oh, are you pulling him back? Like, you moved toward the ship, so he's like right here?
Yeah, basically. I
Okay.
pulled him around me and then I moved a little bit.
I mean, you've got
forward to the
another
helm.
attack, baby.
Yeah, so I don't have a weapon out, so I'll just like arm strike him, I guess.
Go for it, baby.
Think of it
You got
as-
proficiency.
I didn't make one. I do?
Everybody got
Yeah,
proficiency in their own punches.
Everyone's proficient with punching people and headbutting them and kicking them.
You'll hit him
and
for
doing all
6
sorts of terrible
damage. I'm assuming you have max strength. Hey!
Ooh. That'll certainly connect. Just,
I'm
how you hitting him?
I'm just like squeezing his arm even more, just trying to break, not necessarily break it, just inflict a good amount of pain. Just get
Nice.
him
Enough to
talking
kill a
just
man.
little bit.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Enough to crush
you'll-
a commoner's throat, but he's a big lizard man.
You'll feel this guy has quite a bit of mass to him, but even then, that crushing blow does quite a bit of damage. You can see his arm actually sort of like, not deflating, but like indenting with your strength, surprisingly. Roll me an intimidation check.
I'm so good at these guys.
He's literally like Katie and Milo's love child right here.
That's a 1.
Look at that nice one. Oh yeah.
As it seems like with your calm disposition, horribly juxtaposed by the immense pain you're causing this creature, it seems more confused and doesn't seem to answer. You're just sort of writhing, trying to pull itself free, but your arm is like the statue as the rest of its body seems to be flailing, you just standing there unmoving. That's all. Doesn't seem like he answers you.
Unfortunate. Yeah, I'm controlling the helm now. That's my turn.
One hand on the helm, one hand on Mustang Girl.
Better
All
not
right.
run me over.
As Samantha, for a moment, your eyes were clouded with light. The next moment, Persephone's will shakes you out of it, and you're back in control. What do you do?
Volume warning, I'm going to be yelling at the end of this.
Go for it, baby.
I gotta put him down.
Just letting the sensitive ear people know. Let you know.
here. Okay.
I wouldn't. You don't want to miss it. Samantha just sort of snaps out of it and just sort of looks around at the scene in front of her and the sand and this strange bulge in the middle as everyone's seeming to like leap into action to catch these people. And she almost has to like remind herself, oh yes, we were going to go stop the Yonti. That's right. And she's just trying to find a part of herself that actually gives a fuck. And she's struggling for a few moments before she just kind of steps up next to Quildor and looks out at these Yontis. They're fighting and all this nonsense. And she knows that she needs to say something, but she can't quite find the right emotion to care, and then she just kind of digs in deep to herself and finds the emotion that she has not left a hold of since she's come into Hearth, something that just smolders underneath her all the time. And she grabs a hold of that anger and lets it consume her, lets her fill it up and give her some purpose, something to feel. As she is going to use her action to call on her divine might and cast the best spell in the game, Thaumaturgy.
Hey.
That's 100% accurate. That is the best spell in the game,
There you go.
especially
for
for
it.
deities.
You face the valiant vanguard, Dragon Slayers! I am Medusa, the Serpent Empress! Cease your crimes! Yield, and you will be given mercy and salvation! Fight on, and you will die!
Give me an intimidation check.
Dun, dun, dun.
Nice.
Oh,
That's actually
full
perfect,
of that
because
damn
she's faking
inspiration.
it.
As the world around you shakes and these creatures hear this massive voice cutting through the wind that swirls around this moving battlefield. And you do end up catching the attention of all these creatures who now are able to lay their eyes directly upon you, Samantha. Your words, too good, really too good to be true, too true to be believed. Or I guess too not true to be, Jesus, too obscure to be believed. And with the power behind them, they do seem to be quite shaken by it, but more so now focused on your presence, more aware that there is someone on their ship that commands such power. Good shit, though. Holy shit, that was good.
I like too true to be to believe.
Too true to be believed. That's kind of honest, right? Too honest to be real.
You don't want to know the truth.
Yeah, it's like going to Starbucks and just
They can't
seeing this
handle
cool
the
bearded
truth.
dude, and he's just like, "Hey, what's up? I bought your bagel. I'm Jesus, by the way." Like, wait, what? As she calls on that anger and just uses that to fuel this sense of investment in what's going on around her and sees them almost sort of just stare, I guess perhaps in disbelief or shock, and then focus in on her. That anger courses through the rest of her body, as all along her arms and her chest and face, all of those scales twist, harden, and contort, protecting her a bit more as her senses focus in, and she just goes to the only place of comfort that she has: fighting things. As a bonus action, I use my cool thingamajiggy that gives me better AC, and that's all I got for you.
All right. Body covered in a clad of scales. This creature on the far northern side. Persephone, you get a good view of it being up in the air. Looking over to where Samantha's thunderous voice seemed to call and carry from. It like shakes its head and starts to curl its fingers at its sides. Clearly shaken by this, but able to regain its constitution about itself quick enough to act. As you can sort of hear it sort of call out, blasphemous. As its eyes turn up to you. And it steps towards the edge of the ship here. And you see its hand rising and waving and pointing your direction. As then, with a strangely familiar sight, you see running along its hand a winding ethereal serpent beginning to create and then launch from its hand, disappearing and then trying to reappear around your body in the next moment. It's not real, it's not touching you, but you feel that sense that something horrible is trying to take and hold you, and not scare you, but just through primal instinct as an animal before a predator, to be still. As I'm gonna need a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I should be fine. I was not fine. I'm gonna use my
As you feel...
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Go for it.
That's better.
Oh, much better.
As you feel your body tense and seize up, your wings catch in the air, Persephone. You are about to fall before suddenly you break yourself out in the last moment, sort of faltering in the air, just barely, I guess, in the moment, able to break out and finding your strength, as you are not going to fall hard down into the sands.
I'm telling you, we should just make that a homebrew rule. We should just do it. Pull the trigger.
It's a good price on the bad one. It's not a
allow
bad
it.
one. Let's see. And what about you, baby? As this thing seems to be trying to regain its magic and aim it again at you, Persephone, this other creature over here on the boat turns its head towards this long, speeding creature that seems to be appearing immediately on its ally ship and now making a beeline towards it. It seems as if arrows are not stopping it. He's gonna try and eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That's you, right? Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh hey. Oh, stupid. Oh, it's gonna be so stupid. Oh, it's so good, so stupid. This creature waving its hands before each other. You can see it puts its fingers together like it's praying, and then pulls them apart, and you see long threads of string starting to form between them. They writhe like serpents, and then she extends them out to the air, and you see this net of serpents fall to the air like a bunch of like tiny little serpents, and fall, hit the sand, disappear, sinking inside. And as you're running, the ground moving beneath your feet, you feel it shift, and suddenly these writhing serpents appear out of the ground, countless and small, too small to bite or tear, but they rise up beneath you, trying to cling to your body.
Ah!
As I'm gonna need, oh god, a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna use that DM inspiration here.
Go
I don't want to
forward,
get
go
grabbed up by
forward.
these fucking thing. 18.
1 sec. Oh god, why is it so far down? Why is it so far? Oh, there we are.
How are you in the sand?
What do you?
Are you in the sand? Or are you flying?
Yeah.
He's not running.
Yeah,
He's got he's
Water
basically running across
rocket ring.
quicksand. He's got his little water rocking wing. Yeah.
Oh
As
yeah,
just
the ring
beneath
makes
your
it so you
feet.
don't fall.
Yep.
Walking on the liquid sand.
As strangely enough, it almost looks like vines were trying to wrap around you, but they've been given life like that of a serpent. As guy tries to entangle you, but you're able to overcome it. Although the ground beneath your feet, this writhing sand, is now alive with grasping serpents. You are gonna be spending a little extra movement trying to cross this area.
Oh yeah.
What's the right size? It looks so small from here. As that's creature's turn, Quildor at the helm of the ship, Samantha using her magic to shake the air with a powerful declaration, but it seems only you, her, and Swifthull remain on the vessel.
I will pull out my wand of magic missiles,
Mm-hmm.
and I will hold, using it until I get close enough to shoot some bad guys.
Alrighty. Pulling out your wand, looking for an enemy, going for the closest one, or is it just literally like how's that working? Pick a trigger. Like, is the one that comes within range?
yeah.
Is it one in particular that comes in
When
range?
this one, yeah, when that one does.
All right. Good shit. Just like targeting all of them at him, I'm assuming. I think that's how you hold the magic missile, right? You go, I ready to cast it at this dude or this or that person.
I probably won't.
Figure
do
that's how you
all
do
of
it.
them at her. Do I have to declare how many I'm going to shoot?
I'm going to figure that since you're holding the spell, you basically cast it and then hold it. I'm not going to say you hold on to the darts and then decide then and there who you target. Like, no. It's probably going to be you pick which ones you're going to fight. And then once they come in the range, they go flying.
Okay, I will shoot 3 at that one then.
3 at that one? Cool.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Oh, wait. Okay, never mind. No, he didn't get entangled. But that is okay. No, I'm good. I'll just do that one.
Alrighty.
Done.
Turn comes to an end. Let's see, what are you doing? It's you. And this creature sees that there's stuff going on, so he's going to be making his way up to the helm, barking some orders at this person. And you're going to be doing the same thing. Looks like they're reaching down, pulling out some weapons. Looks like to be bladed weapons. Go. There you are. Oh boy. Person on the back of this ship, getting her ballista ready, seeing these creatures floating and approaching. Yeah, one of them's gonna come. Oh shit, yeah, she would. Seeing one flying straight up to him, overpowering the magic of one of their leaders. Gonna aim ballista right at you, Persephone.
Yikes.
Turning this giant thing your direction, and ka-chunk.
No.
Woo!
That's how do you dodge it super easily.
I'm a super fucking fast humanoid-sized pixie right now, so this thing comes shoots at me, she's like, zip!
Well done. As this creature down here will pull itself onto the ballista. Oh god. Yeah, with sights focused, all of them shaken by those words, gonna turn its head down and shoot a shot. Can't shoot. It's gonna aim right at the ship. Disadvantage though. Just trying to get that other serpent that screamed at them the hell away from them. Take it down. Ooh. Flying quite far, having to arc it a bit, but it does seem to land right in the front, crunching right into the wood as you'll take a 16 piercing damage.
Oof.
16. 19. Taking on a bit more sand, but not full enough to really slow you down or take the wind out of your sails. And this person just sits there, holding on the ballista, trying to find a good place to aim, but unable to do so. As we'll come to the end of the round, Quildor, what do you want to do at the helm of this ship?
Where's the thingamabobber? Where's the big bubble in the sand?
Right here, it looks like. Really big bubble.
Okay, really big bubble. Do I dare risk it? I'd have to go straight. And if I double the speed, it's 60 total movement?
Yes, sir. You move 30 feet, and then you move 30 more feet.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do the double move.
Okay, so first thing that happens is you guys move 30 feet. Everyone goes bah. And then you move an additional 30 feet. I'm going to need Quildor, Samantha, and Swift Hollow to make me either an athletics or acrobatics check. Strong boy. Nimble girl. I believe in you, Samantha. Hey. As all of you manage to keep aboard, Quildor holding onto the helm tight. Samantha and Swift Hollow able to maintain your balance as you move an additional 30 feet up to here. Bah.
And that son of a gun takes 8 damage.
All right. As all 3 bolts go flying through the air, one catches in its throat, one catches in its chest, one catches in its side, and it just seems to fall dead to the ground.
What are other boats doing?
Yep. As Corin, what are you doing with that other boat?
Yeah, what are you gonna do with that boat?
Koran's gonna look at the guy that he's holding and just say, "Fair warning, I don't actually know how to control one of these things." As he's struggling to keep it straight. Now, basically, just use the turn action. What is it? Yeah, turn action twice, going 45 degrees, basically down and then back down. So just
just left and right.
Level. Yeah.
All right. So first time you turn it 45 degrees. Boop. Oh, that's the wrong way. There you go. Boop. And then you veer the other way. I'm gonna need you and everyone else on the ship to make some acrobatics or athletics checks.
Oh god.
Well done. Well done. Do acrobatics.
Oh, I like the imagery because it's just him. Oh fuck, I don't know how to control. Oh, I guess we're going to. Oh god, overcompensating. Oh god.
Okay, you're good.
Exactly. When you play Sea of Thieves for the first time.
Good. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
The ship is
Ooh.
like whipping around too, so it's probably maybe some people might get like thrown off. Oh,
But they
it's
don't
like-
actually
people
move
get thrown
anywhere,
off.
though. They just fall down.
Well,
Yeah.
they stay where they are is the thing.
Yeah,
so if the
when
ship
you
turns
rotate
back,
yeah,
if there's no space beneath them, they're a little fucked.
yeah.
Let's see. Oh god.
It's assuming they don't stand on their turn, right?
Yeah, their
If
turn
there's
comes up, they
nothing
can just fall.
underneath them, they fall into the sand.
Yeah, they fall off.
Yeah.
But. Uh
Yeah,
oh.
how
And
about-
this guy, you're holding on to him, but he's still got to try and keep himself per level. Okay. All right. As you will turn everyone here back. God, it's gonna be really funny. But how do we do this again? Is it you? There we go. Okay, I figure out how this controls work. I practiced this. You and you and you and you and you're fine and you're fine. Those guys are fine actually. Hold on. Sorry about that.
5 of them fail? It's a DC
There's like
15.
3 of them.
You fucked. You're fine. You're
2,
fine.
3, 4,
You're
5.
fucked. You're fucked. You're fine. So everyone, voof, shifts back. Although one of them hits into the sand hard. One of these serpentine-bodied creatures falls right off the edge of the ship. This one here, oh Jesus Christ, falls right between the rudder and the ship.
Oh, bye.
Oh yikes!
As you're back there, this one comes tumbling right into you. I'm gonna need an acrobatic check, Corin. Actually, dexterity saving throw, which you have advantage on because you're a big old barb boy. Ooh, as you're able to dodge out of the way, you sort of pop. How do you dodge this guy as he comes tumbling your direction?
As I just kind of see him coming towards me, I'm just gonna use the arm of this guy that I'm holding and the raft to just kind of plank midair as he goes under me.
All right, you're prone. You're prone. You're
Does
prone.
it just sort of like skid to a stop then? Because there was no forward movement?
The idea is like it's supposed to be like perspective movement. So the ship's still moving forward unless you literally just stop the ship, like you take everything out and like take the sails down. The ship's like always moving in a direction. That's sort of the idea. You can like zip forward, sort of pull the sails down. It does, but it doesn't move any closer. So you guys will get closer to it. These guys up here. Fuck. Okay, 1 second. There we go. Perfect. So these guys who fall into the sand. Boo, 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 boo. Beautiful, beautiful rules.
Don't you have to use your action to make it move forward, though? Right?
I know, but it's like again, it's a perspective thing.
I'm just trying to
It's
figure out how I'm
just-
supposed to adjust myself if they're not moving.
If you're, I'll adjust it for you. I'll show you. 1 second. Oh shit! As you see these creatures fall hard into the sand, Temercon, quite well, walking on this thing with your bare feet, using some magic to keep yourself afloat. These creatures not so much. Immediately, you see this creature's lower body, this long winding snake, get sunk into the sand. The next one over here gets stuck beneath the rudder, also sinking 3 feet into the sand. This creature here. Oh god, nope, that's not what I'm gonna do. There we are. Is going to turn itself 45 degrees and move itself forward about 15 feet. There we go. Not wrong way. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Self the way there. And then 15 feet-ish. Right there we go. As we all move backwards ever so slightly, Temercon running across the sand, moving with the ship. Let's see. There we go. And then we all... Oh, God. No! There we are. God, I started to pick all this shit up. Okay. You slide here. Boop, boop. Get you Persephone flying. Boop. And I think the rest of you boys, you're like, boop, boop. No, you're fine. Boop. No, boop, and boop. Getting slid. As I move back for perspective's sake. There we go. As you guys are slowly but surely catching up. Tamarcon able to maintain your position. The ship getting ever closer and closer. Even Persephone finding yourself closer. But this time, the back of the ship seems to aim in your direction. With now, mostly, the ship's ballista's pointing towards you guys.
I should be shifted in the other direction.
Oh, that's right. You're right. I got.
Be further this way.
Yeah.
So good lobby boys.
Oh god, there we go.
Persephone.
There we go. About there. Persephone is about there. There we go. All right. Still catching up. Still make your equal distance. If it's not, adjust yourself accordingly. As Swift Hollow comes back to you. Seems as if you guys are speeding on closer and closer. They're getting just within your range now.
Spellcaster's not prone, right?
This
A couple of them
dude,
got prone.
one of them got slingshot off. These two seem to be standing. These guys seem to be standing nice and tall, though. They had some good strength behind them.
Seeing as how Swift Hollow doesn't really have to move, she will use her bonus action to take aim, focus all her energy, and line it up with the spellcaster, and boom.
Ooh.
24. And
As that will
crap, how
connect,
much is
as
my
you will
sneak
get your.
attack?
I don't know, man. Your level, whatever you are.
Level infinite.
Want to roll another
66.
20 to get that Elven accuracy?
Hey.
Oh yeah, you're.
Oh, that's a good one too.
That's good. 66. Thank you.
Not 20.
That'll definitely
So,
connect, doing good old 36 damage. As this bolt comes flying through the air, catches this thing clean through the shoulder. You can see the spatter as this harpoon tears through its flesh and sticks out the other side. As you do a hearty amount of damage to this thing, it reels back in pain.
It's hard to be precise, but I think I'm managing. But yeah, that's Swift Hollow's turn.
All right. As this creature is also prone, because it fucking failed its save. But unfortunately, as he's being kowtowed around by his tiny little halfling, he can't get himself up. Stuck to the ground. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Oof. Thought froze on me. He's going to try and break himself free of you, Corin. I don't know if he even can. He's going to try anyway. He's not smart enough. Well, he's intelligent, but not super smart enough. Let's try. Oh, god damn. I don't think he... Nope. As he tries to pull and pry and rip himself away from you, but just seems to be stuck on the ground, unable to get free of you. Let's see. That's all of you. That's all of you. As comes to you. Creature has been shot dead by its, what seems to be the enemy on the ship. This creature up north sees the sniper, aims its ballista, and tries to fire over at you, Swift Hollow. And here we go. That's not disadvantage. Normal shot. Ka-chunk. 17.
No.
Flying right over your head, sort of bouncing off the side of the ship. Not quite a true enough strike to damage it as it flies away. As this creature here, how much movement you got? Fly him up. 10 feet high, 20. And then make about there. Looks like one creature is aiming towards the helm, trying to get there. As... Ooh, this creature down here. Start of its turn, also in the quicksand, has to make another d4. Good old-fashioned quicksand rules in DMG. Ooh, my golly. Sinks all the way down until just its shoulders seem to be sticking up. Its head is sort of popping out, trying to claw at the sand to get out, but has to try and free itself. A DC 10 plus number of feet, total 7. DC 17 strength check he's got to make. Let's see if Snake Body can do it. Ooh, as... pulls itself out, although it is prone, so it has to use half its movement to basically get out. And then, you're kind of fast. Going through this horrible, difficult terrain makes it just to the edge of the ship and clambers onto the side, just barely pulling its snake tail out of the sand, holding itself onto the very edge of the ship for safety's sake. And this other creature here sees that its ally has died, shoves this dead corpse out of the way. Oh, it's way behind there, Jesus. And grabs onto the ballista. grabs onto it and just aims and fires directly at your ship. Seem to aim for the hole. Catches into the side again, doing 12 damage. As that's your turn, Tamar Khan, finding yourself in the middle of this writhing sea of serpents, beneath the sand that's now starting to shift beneath you. It seems like another moment this thing's going to fly underneath your feet, but you do have this massive mound seemingly moving in your direction, slightly skewed, more to the south now, but still heading towards you. What do you do?
I still not the dinner today. As Tamar, as these snakes start to writhe up underneath his feet, the wind around his feet start to kick up as well. As right as these snakes sort of reach up for his ankles, he launches himself upwards into the air, just straight up, about 5 feet or so, and then springing out a leg, seeming to kick off of nothing, just launches himself forward, as with the little step of the wind, tripling his jump speed, or jump distance, as he just launches himself forward, landing, rolling on the sand, as he is just beelining it with triple the jump speed, and also getting that dash as a bonus action, step of the wind, as he's able to make it all the way and just leap onto the back of the ship into the heat of everything, landing in the just the midst of all these motherfuckers. Hello. Let's have some fun, yes? As he's just going to kick backwards into this creature on the side, and gonna try a little shovey poo,
All right, give me an athletic check.
Not great, but it's alright.
Let's
Hey,
see.
18.
Hey, as this creature is caught off guard by your sudden appearance.
Kick her off the back of the ship.
Falls off the edge, hits the sand suddenly, and she will fall to the sand. Plus one. Just enough to get her legs in, but you see her starting to get dragged away from the ship.
Watch out! There's something very hungry down there! As he whips around and tries to bring another, No, with that, he's going to drop his bow. He doesn't need to drop his bow. He pulls the small little dart object off the back of his ear, and with a wheel of his body, extends it to that 10-foot length, and just crunches into the side of this other one. As he brings the bar back, it seems to just jettison and slide through his hand as it connects to the back of that lady as well. As Bar going to cast her lady first, just with one hand, because he's got a bow in the other hand. 19 to hit.
That'll connect.
Clamp it into the side of her as Key just ricochets down the edge of the bar, as he is going to try to stun her.
As you feel for a moment, there's this slight resistance against your energy, as these creatures seem to be quite formidable against magical forces.
Oh.
Let's see. This. Ooh, but not formidable enough.
He takes hold, seizes up her body as the bar rips backwards, trying to clunk into the back of this other. Ooh, clunking hard.
Ooh, certainly does.
Striking into the back of her, as it is also going to channel a whole bunch of fucking ki into it. Some just twisting the bar and opening the wound, causing pain to ricochet through her body, and in that pain, ki is also leaking its way into her body as well. As Death striking for another 5 and another stun to strike.
All right, see if she can hold on. Oh, not you. There we are. Aha. Advantage. Khan trying to hold on as you just batter the back of her head with this, but somehow able to keep her focus, although she seems to be heavily bloody, leaning over the ballista, just barely conscious.
That is Tamar's turn as he takes up a bit of defensive stance, but looks like he's more going on the offense. Big old grin on his face, not quite being able to get his bar up in defensive position. No agile parry active.
Gotcha. As, let's see, down here, this person's still alive, seeing that something has been shifting and trying to throw them off the ship, turns about face, and runs to the front to see, holding onto the wheel, is someone who does not belong there. You foul thing! Off this ship, you rat! Off! As... Yeah. Yeah. It's going to hold out its hand towards you. You see these writhing serpents running along its arm and then shoot off in your direction. Immediately fades in the air, then reappears around you, trying to cling onto that strangely intrinsic part of you, that animalistic side, trying to seize you up in this moment, as I'm going to need a wisdom saving throw.
I'll use my DM inspiration.
All right. As you clench yourself against this magic, you feel it overtaking you, and then gritting your teeth, pulling away from this, you're able to just barely avoid being held in place by this thing's magic. The DC 15 was what you needed. That dude's dead. That dude's dead. Here I'm here. Alrighty. Seeing this intruder, this creature slithers up with considerable speed, Tamarkan, up along this ladder side. Away from here, unless you wish to join them. And she'll slither right up to you, right up to you, right up to you, right.
Slithering?
Yeah, right up to you, seemingly with its tail seemingly wrapping around, trying to catch you by the side and slither up around your body, and just trying to constrict you. Yeah. Ooh, a 10. Not gonna do it.
Not even close. I just wheel my body around, lift myself up on the bar as it just wraps around the bar as I just pull it free, landing away from her tail.
Dancing thing! As she reaches to her side, pulls out this long, curved blade, and just slices it wildly through the air at you. Ooh, a 25.
Well, that will actually connect. Getting past my defenses. Lamar being a little bit cocky, not really expecting the sword, as cuts just a little bit across his arm. 10 damage.
Nice. Let's see.
On my magic.
As this creature in the sand has to make a strike set. Well, first he has to get a 1d4. 1d4. Ooh, sinks 2 feet deeper, only about 5 feet or so. Tries to tear his way out with a pure strength check. Bah! Ooh! You see from the edge of the ship, this thing's ready to go under the sleds before a snake catches on the edge of the snake. And through this pained pulling, you can see the snake's eyes like straining as this guy's using them basically as grapples, as pythons in the ship, using its own teeth to pull it out of the ship. Gets Wrath of its movement to stand up. Oh, there we go. And that's about as far as he can make it. But then sees this creature that seemed to shook it off the ship. Gets angry at you. And 2 snakes are coming at you. Little Mr. Corin. Snake bite, snake bite. Hacha! 14 probably won't do it. Another snake coming. Hacha! Ooh. How do you dodge these things?
Just so much is happening right now as he's just kind of... It's not so much that he's dodging, he's just trying to level himself back up after messing up steering the ship. But he's just kind of wobbling around too much and too difficult to hit right now.
Too small underneath the wheel, dodging, sort of unintentionally dodging the attacks as these snakes bite at the air wildly. That's bad. Next dude here gets up from being prone, drags himself up the ground. Ugh. Just barely avoided cannonballing right into you, and then just as before, seeing you holding onto this helm, is just going to try and bite the crap out of you. Seeing its ally on the ground, thriving and writhing on the ground, trying to pull you away, but you're just this immovable object, unwilling and unable to move. He's going to try and bite the shit out of you. Chomp! Ooh, a 12. And a chomp! A 19. Piercing in, doing half of 15, so that's 2 plus 5, so 7 damage. Just chomping on in, trying their best, but you are just this tiny, immovable thing. As Persephone and Tamarkan, you can see this creature fall hard into the sand, not completely sunken in, but the massive mound sort of shifts and swerves. Now with your aerial position, Persephone, it almost looks like that of a snake as these line of spikes come swimming closer, and you see immediately behind this Yanti, the ground immediately just cave in, as it looks like an entire section has been removed until you look inside. At least Tamarkan can see it from his angle. The cave is wet and filled with rows and rows and rows of teeth. An eyeless, empty maw as this massive worm-shaped creature bursts out of the sand and just tries to eat this little Yanti.
What the fuck is that?
Ka-chomp.
Ooh!
As you see the Yanti in one big bite fall into its mouth in a sea of sand, and the next moment just immediately vanishes. As he takes a hearty amount of damage and seems to be completely swallowed up as this thing immediately sort of curls back into the ground and seems to vanish. Although as it okay, yeah, it's gonna do that. It's so stupid. As he goes into the ground, you see this massive thing swimming down to the ground. Its body seems to be covered in rows of spikes, even ending at its tail, the strange, like, pine cone-shaped conglomeration of sharpened points. And as it disappears, the tail swims out through the air and just smashes into the back of the ship. See,
It did
boop.
not yeet that fucking boat.
Ooh.
As it fucking smashes into the back of the ship that you're on, Tamarkan, dealing a hearty amount of piercing damage. Ooh, mama, a really hearty amount of piercing damage. As you see the entire backside just cave in and tear as these spikes rip through the wood, and as it goes back underground. As Persephone, just above a spray of sand, a cloud that just erupts below you as this creature appears, it vanishes back into the sand. What do you do?
Go!
Go after it. Persephone, get him. Get him. Get him, Persephone, get him.
Get your friend.
Touch it.
Make it your friend. Made a dinosaur your friend. Make that a
Tail
friend.
stinger.
I mean, that's true, but I can't see it. It's under the sand now.
Get his fucking stinger!
Get his
his-
poison.
Oh god.
Get his poison.
Y'all have clearly more experience with this fucking thing than I do. Well, okay, don't land in the sand. Should be a very easy rule to follow. As Persephone is going to zip on over here, zip, really, really fast, and seeing Tamarkan get surrounded. What did you do to this one, Tamar?
He seems to be standing there, head rolling around, seems to be stunned.
Okay.
Disintegrate.
Persephone is going to open her palm, and it's going to start glowing a spring green as sparkles begin to rise up from it, forming a butterfly. And she looks at this little butterfly in front of her, and she says, "Let's make some friends." And like that, the butterfly disappears from her hand and appears on the snoot of the snake-headed Yanti. As I'm going to cast Charm Monster.
All right. Ooh, seems like even in its devious, in its stunned state, it's still able to hear your words, although its magic inside its body still gives it some sort of resistance, but let's see if it can possibly do it. Ooh, just able, you can see in this sort of stunned state, it almost like phases out your words for a moment, then its eyes blink, and it tries to focus in on what you're saying, and then goes back to the delirious state. Just barely able to make it. Mamma mia.
Anti-magic boys.
Well, I tried. Galactic Icon! As I'm going to use my haste action to dash and... gosh, where am I going to go? I'm going to go up 20 more feet and then, like, hover over the, pier.
All right.
So I should be up 40 feet from the ground.
Nice. Okie dokie, Softala, or Persephone. As it comes down to Corin. Surrounded on the ship, snakes biting all around you, people trying to throw magic on you. You're just trying to drive a ship. What are you doing?
So much is happening. Do I know who Medusa is?
You've definitely heard of it if you're with your time and experience, and probably having hung out in Roka for a while. There's basically talk of an old cult god that the Yanti used to worship. Supposedly, it's the reason why they are the way they are. Kind of not really well revered anymore, and the ones who do revere her, even if they're still around, they've since fallen off for quite a while ago. Not really ones to look to. Oh yeah, you're actually really fucking old. You would probably have heard of a plague at some point. Supposedly some plague that struck down a number of these followers. Some people say it was just the world righting itself. Others say it was something of their own doing, some strange ritual of theirs. A lot of them died who used to worship the Raven Queen. Not really many of them left.
You mean Medusa?
Medusa, that's it.
Okay.
Interesting. As I'm gonna turn back to this guy that I am still grappling. No, see, I know I'm like several heads shorter than you, but do you not see the predicament that you're in? That was just a giant purple worm, and I mean, we have Medusa on our side. Don't you think you should just give up?
Roll me a persuasion check. Gonna be a little difficult.
I'm so good at these guys.
Oh, we love you for
Nice.
trying, though.
Nice.
As this thing writhing on the ground in pain, still trying to pull against you, but again, unmoving statue Corin looks up at you. Ah! A blasphemer! Ah! We will throw you off soon, or we will make you join us. Ah! Free me! One of you free me!
It's very unfortunate. I really don't want to kill any of you people, but the innocent comes first. I'm going to turn to this other guy. And
Save me from this child.
I'm going to turn to this guy. I want to kill him off.
give me an athletics check.
Just grind it up underneath the boat.
Well, let's see. He's not too bad. He's not too bad. Actually, I don't think he can make that. Let's just roll to see. Oh, even at his best, you see his snakes catch onto the wood, seeing you. Just trying to prime himself, as it seems like he's anticipating you. But how do you just knock him off? Do you just literally kick him?
Yep, just nonchalantly just kick him off.
Ah!
Roll a 9. It's not that much effort.
Oh my god.
As he'll fall and fall 5 feet deep into the sand, these snakes reaching out, trying to catch onto something.
Just gonna look back at the guy. Are you willing to listen now? No?
Roll me another persuasion check.
I'll keep kicking people off this fucking boat. I swear to God.
Now, seemingly a bit more reasonable.
I'm listening now, child. I'm listening.
Spare my life, and I will tell you everything. I will give you everything. Please, do not throw me over the edge. Do not feed me to these things.
Ooh, no, it's just so interesting. But you have to tell everyone to stand down.
So he looks over and looks back to the serpents looking at him. There's this one seemingly wounded creature looking down at him with furrowed eyes and looks back to you. We will kill you, you blasphemer.
Shame. I'm gonna kick him off.
Roll me that check, baby.
OG, you want to get kicked?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Nope. How
Just,
far
like,
does he
just,
kick him?
just slightly irritated.
Let's see.
Kick him 15 feet out there. Just really get him out there.
Falls into the sand, sinking 2 feet.
Turning back to him. I'm gonna keep doing that until you guys stop. That'll be my turn.
Or just like give yourself a D100, or give yourself Demon Inspiration, whichever you don't have. Give yourself one.
Yeah, I'll give myself the inspiration.
Fucking funny, I love it. All right, move yourself back to the helm.
Right, yeah.
Gotcha. All right, Samantha, it seems that the creatures caught your attention, and now they're turning their guns on their ship to face you. Seems as if you're able to shake them with their words, but not enough to destroy their resolve. What do you do? Also, a giant worm exploded out of the ground, so there's that.
All that XP.
Anger. More and more and more, the only emotion Samantha just feels bubbling up within her is just fury, as seeing them like still shooting at us and like shooting at Persephone after I've made my declaration. Obviously I have to speak to them face to face. That's the issue. That must be what it is. They just don't believe me. As Samantha just sort of shifts her weight and sets herself into a charge and just jumps. Going out her full speed, trying to jump off and towards this ship. And yeah. At the apex of her jump, she is going to cast a spell and throw her scepter as hard as she can all the way to the boat. As she is going to cast some Far Step.
Oh, snap. Teleporting 60 feet.
And she'll get here, throw her scepter to there, and as the scepter reaches there, she just disappears in a flash, catching the scepter and landing in front of these people. More yelling. This time in Draconic. Just making sure. There must be a language barrier. There's no. I said yield! As she will land in front of this one, still on the ballista, looking at her, just face contorted in anger, her fangs growing out of the top of her mouth, more pronounced, and her snakes just whipping up in a frenzy as this thaumaturgy continues for a minute. And she just looks at this one, perhaps a face of surprise, not expecting her, and she just wreaths her arm in energy, not forming claws, just this blunt instrument as she just tries to just uppercut this one right in the gut, just in the chest, with the full fury of her Eldritch Blast.
Okay, give me that shot.
Where you at? Why doesn't it ever save my charisma? Give me 1 second. I don't want to like roll these and be like, oh wait, we gotta add charisma to these.
Ooh, as the first and third one will connect, but the last one does not. As you crash into the middle of this creature, punching and pounding, you feel these things are quite resilient, sort of measuring itself up against your blows, but not fully pushed away unless you're knocking them off the ship or pushing them away.
Is
So
there
you're taking it one after another.
Is there a railing?
Not much of one.
Yeah, so she just tries to land and just try to grab at her and just give her one solid 3-hit burst to the gut without pushing her.
All right, and give me an intimidation check.
You want a DM inspiration? Oh, all right.
No,
Hey.
I will never use it. Not until the arc's over. It's staying there.
As you see these creatures now turning their attention to
I'm
face
also not
you,
inspired.
seeing these things turning to stare at you. You can see this one on top of the helm, robes flowing across its body, stares at you, looks upon the hair that floats from your head.
Gotcha.
A false prophet it is. One with much power. So be it.
Who said that?
This one.
Oh, this one? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Noted.
They got cross.
No reason.
Samantha just unhinges her jaw and
All right.
swallows the
As you
whole
can't see it
thing.
on the map, but dude is stunned. Other one is currently battling indigestion, but not in the way you think it is. As Quibbler.
As I'll look back at Swift Hollow. Swift Hollow, I'm going to leave this boat soon. You will have to steer. As I'm going to shoot 4, that's right, 4 magic missiles. So I gotta also roll a d20 afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
At the one that wouldn't yield, aiming for the kneecaps.
Ugh. Unerringly so.
Ooh. C5. Look at that.
We're good.
Beautiful. As they all fly forward and strike true, pounding in this creature's body. Still seems to be hardy, almost brought to a knee, but still able to keep itself standing, grabbing onto one of the weak railings on its side and keeping itself up.
One doesn't blow up.
Nice.
Yeah, that will be my turn.
All right. As how high are you, Persephone? Just like right on against the boat, or like 20 feet high?
I
40 feet?
am 40 off the ground.
Alrighty.
Or
As
40
these
off the
creatures are
boat,
going to be
whatever it is.
making their way. They see you flying up, but no way to really reach you. They instead make their way to try and climb this thing, get the 10 feet up by dishity dashing, and trying to get the best of their ability to try and surround this intruder. Nope, there you go. This one's gonna come from here, and it just makes it about here. This one turns attention up to you. Seems to be holding its sword, and its teeth seem to be snapping in its mouth, almost like it's awaiting you. You can't move, can't do shit. You dashed. All right. As on top of this ship, Ballista's aiming down. Seeing your ship take a number of shots. You got 3 coming at your boat.
I got a big old stick that's in range.
Not,
probably
not
just one of
within
them.
5 feet of them. Not within 5 feet. You gotta be 5
Oh,
feet.
you gotta be 5 feet.
Your stick's in their face, but you're not like right up in there screaming or anything. Smacking out of their hands. That's 3 shots are coming. 1 big boop. 1 skims off the side of your skimmer, just scrapes it, but doesn't truly damage it. Another shot. Ooh, this one just barely making it past, breaking through and doing. Ooh, let's see. That'd be 89. Doing a terrible amount of damage. Last one. Ka-chunk. Ooh, scraping its other side. Seemed like it was about to be a hearty hit right at its center, but then veers off the side.
That was close.
Certainly was. All right, Quildor at the helm.
We will turn 45 degrees this way and
All right.
go. Well, is that blob gone?
It
Does it
seemed to
look
go
like
into
it
the
goes deep?
sand. Seemed like he went deeper than you could see.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna
Uh-oh.
do. Oh God, we're dead.
Uh-oh. Who broke it? Who
Realized
broke
I
it?
can select the boat. I was trying to select the blob. Apparently, I can delete the boat.
So since the blob went down, I would have just gone. That's stupid. But I'm just gonna go 60 feet forward, so I can get.
You
close
gotta move
enough.
30 feet. You can only turn
No,
or
no,
move.
no, I'm not gonna turn.
Oh.
'Cause the blob's gone.
Oh, I
Yep.
gotta turn it back. Oh god, I turned all the way back. Okay, 1 sec.
I'm glad I got
Okay.
off the boat.
So 30 feet here. And then I need all of you guys to make either athletic or acrobatic check. Oh, cool, Lore. Moving a little fast, hitting a large bump, be able to keep yourself on.
I'm
And
pretty sure I
Swiftala-
literally cannot fail.
Well, there you go. Impossible for Swiftala to be knocked off the boat. You guys move an additional 30. About there-ish. There we are.
Nice.
As these creatures here. As Corin. What are you doing, bud?
Jordan, why?
Just don't do 2 of the same things.
But he wants to.
But
Good.
the flavor as Corn will. So, getting a little bit of hang of steering the boat will also go 45 degrees up this way. And then I'm half the speed of our boat, so like 15 feet forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so 45 degrees this way, and then 15
Okay.
forward.
Alrighty.
Double
Safely
bunk on the head
critting.
I guess I just run those guys over.
for little fellers.
You could technically put us into an infinite spin if you wanted, and that'd be fine.
As you turn 45 degrees there, as this guy will get clobbered by the boat. As you are literally rolling over him. Let's see.
Just
I
do
wrote
the
it as
ram
you.
damage. Do the ram damage
Yep.
on the guy.
Oh, it's the ram. You know it's the ram damage. You're just driving over a dude in the Semper. Bonk.
Oh!
As you see him get tumbled and tossed beneath the sand. Ooh, mama. As this dude
Censored for our
too.
viewers' safety.
And then you move a beautiful 15 feet, baby. Get those guys off there, and then you move not too far. It looks like just about that. Nope, about-ish there. Boop. 15 feet don't look a whole lot on a big map. Alrighty. Let's see. How desperate are you? Very. as you'll see the ship suddenly sway and turn as this thing seems to try and actually. Yes. You'll see it turn ever so slightly and then turn once more as I'm going to need a number of dexterity, acrobatics or athletic checks. Tamarcon, just give me one because you're only one friendly dude on there, but everyone else has to.
I think with the DC 15 and my plus 15 to acrobatic, don't think I can.
Impossible, it seems. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, desperation, making a mac. Let's see, it's
Keep my
1,
balance, just sort
2,
of drunkenly almost
3,
swaying from foot to foot.
4. Oh, thank God. That's funny. Okay, perfect. As you guys 1, 2, 1. Nice. 2. Ooh, not so nice. Stun dude. I'm just gonna say for the sake of, well, nice. Like it's a check. He can still move and do stuff. He just can't move. Not advantage though. Why? Dex. Ooh, somehow still making it. And Coil Girl. Gonna try and use her raw mighty power. Not enough, it seems. As this thing's gonna try and turn suddenly again. Going back to its original shape, except for you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. And Persimmon will keep right there because you're floating. Let's see if this works. But, oh golly. As it looks like one of them gets flown right off the edge of the ship. Even the one holding onto the helm in its desperation seems to have accidentally launched itself. But still manages to hold onto the ship as she'll fall 4 feet, sinking in the sand. Everyone else seems to be mostly okay, just knocked prone. As Swift Hollow, as these creatures are reeling and rolling across their ship, it looks like as they're desperate against being boarded, comes around to you again. Your ship seems to be taking on some fire, though.
The left or the right ship is the one veering.
The one that just turned and did some crazy stunts was the one on the right. But it seems like Tamarcon was perfectly fine. Persephone's flying right above it. Seems like it mostly did more damage to themselves.
It hurt itself.
Well, the spellcaster is still up. So...
Modified. Although you can just aim, I guess.
No, Quillo is not.
Right,
Quillo hasn't left the ship yet, so I guess I could aim.
Slide you guys back a little bit of perspective. There you go.
Oh, you're on the other side, that's right. Derp. Never mind.
Yeah. Taking aim at the spellcaster.
All right. Give me that shot. Give me the shot. Give me
Fuck you,
that shot of that
spellcaster.
Kit Kat bar. Ooh. How do you kill this thing?
Sure, as
Quillo takes its aim, and getting now used to the giant crossbow. Yeah, she just takes aim at its head and lets it fire. Clean off, because I'm guessing these things are fucking massive.
Oh yeah,
Such
they're
a
the size of
velocity.
basically the javelins. As Samantha, you see this thing calling out to you, ready to fight, and then from over your shoulder, from beyond the other ships, this thing just takes its head off in a flash. It falls dead to the ground.
False prophet.
Yeah, it's with Ellison.
Alrighty. As this dude over here, on the ground, desperate state, still being held by you, just seems to be trying its best to get you off of it. Seems like fighting against your strength is not enough, so instead, it just seems to reel back its head and just try to bite down on you, although in its weird angle, it can't really get a good shot. But it's gonna try and bite anyway. Ka-chomp! Ooh, a 15? Against you, Corin?
Oh, that misses. I think I have 16. Yeah,
As it just bites right an inch away from you, not able to quite reach. And instead it just grabs at a blade at its side and just swings it at you. Ah! Swings wildly through the air.
Don't you think this is kind of a pathetic show?
Infiltrated. Our mission will fail. No. I think it's all you're on there. Boo boo boo. as you are... Oh, you're under the ship. That's why you're there. This creature seems to be seeing its allies being beset, but still has a mission to do, takes its only ballista it has, and fires it at the enemy ship. Fire away. Chunk. Ooh, piercing into the side, doing 14 damage. 275. Ooh, as it seems like immediately as it hits the side of your ship, finally taking on enough damage, your ship begins to twist and turn as you're going to be experiencing some hull damage.
Ship begins to take on water or sand until the damage is repaid. It rotates 30 degrees in direction determined by the DM.
As you're just being bounced on all sides by these javelins, eventually sand's making its way into the hull itself, and now you're not able to truly control the steering unless you spend the whole time focusing on steering it. Nice. All right. As your ship is currently turning to and fro. That's all I can do. Good job, Loyanti. You did it. As this creature's not knocked prone, but finally pulls itself up onto the keel and slithers its way forward. It sees, it's going to see a little guy surrounded by Yanti and slither the rest of her speed considerably fast up trying to get to you, Cora. And this time you see slinking above this snake that's futilely striking at you is a long winding tail. Away with you! As it's going to try and wrap itself around you. And as it slithers across the ground, you can see this strange trail left behind, sort of glittering between its scales until it begins to shine and shimmer and almost hiss. As it's going to try and grapple you with its tail.
Yep, that'll hit.
Alright, as it wraps around your body, squeezing you not particularly painfully, but you do feel this thing tightening around your body, holding you in place. You do feel this strange warmth that becomes a horrible burning, as between this thing's scales, you can see a leaking fluid begin to spread. As you touching this creature will take a small amount, 3 acid damage. This thing's to be coated in acidic slime.
As Corin just seems almost unfazed, and he's just gonna look at it. Like, oh look, more leverage.
RD&D, my DM seems to be into piss play. Is that normal?
Oh, the pee.
Welcome to the Golden Forest. You must traverse.
Cease.
As next to you, Samantha, just weathering your blows, this creature turns to face you and then sees from over your shoulder this bolt come and destroy the head of this creature. And its head snaps in its direction and back to you. And you see it beginning to slither away to the edge of the ship, hesitantly. What is this? Why do you look as she?
Because I am she.
No. The Great One says you are gone. To be consumed. To be replaced. As she flies towards you. Winding tail, glittering with that same strange stickiness, trying to wrap itself around you. What? Ooh, 16, thinking not gonna do it.
Yeah, how does she throw herself at me? Like body first or tail first?
It's like she throws herself at you, then catches herself and uses the momentum to sort of whip her tail around you, trying to like catch you from behind. Like whipping you with her own body.
As she sort of leaps towards me, and all of my serpents are keeping a close eye on her as she does so. Both my left hand and Cody lash out at the same time as I just slap her across the fucking face, trying to stop her from being able to grapple hold of me. And Cody just bites her on the fucking neck, but channeled over with this misty white energy as I want to do necrotic damage because I'm your fucking god.
Go forward. As he's got to make a con save with advantage. Ooh, considerably hardy.
Not gonna work.
Oh yeah, you're fucking tougher than that.
Where are
As
you?
much as it tries
That's
to pry
so
and pull
thingies.
away.
And she takes 23 necrotic damage.
Ooh. As you see her body beginning to wilt, these black veins running along her form, and you see her immediately go still before you.
Yield while you have time.
Let's see, as she is incapacitated. I'm also gonna make this little guy go. Almost forgot you were here. Little person goes down on the ballista, trying to sneak past you, and turns this thing up to the main ship and fires again. Gonna take y'all down. I got you, baby. Ka-chunk. Ooh, bouncing up the side of the ship, and then because she's a coward, run back here, trying to make her way down the ladder, but only makes it about here. Okay. That's all the snake people. Tamarkan, boarding the ship. Seems like this thing tried to throw you off, but ended up spilling its own men across the ship. What do you do?
That's one with experience. You'll have to shake harder to get rid of this flea. As he just wheels his body around and just cracks into the stomach of this creature that's already relatively stunned and knocked a little bit since try to land a fist just into her gut. Actually, no, he's gonna snap his bow back into a smaller form and just tuck that in his belt as he wheels around. He's actually gonna land a two-handed bar into the side of this creature as it sort of bends and hits her side and tries to strike the one behind her as well.
All right.
With advantage.
Ooh, a big old juicy crit.
Very nice.
Crack in, using a bit of Death Strike to really just try to knock the ever-loving shit out of her. Doing 1927 damage to her. And
Smacking the shit.
once again, a little bit more ki ripping into her body, trying to keep it so this sort of dangerous spellcaster does not get the wind back in her body. Yes. Stunning stroke.
All right. Bot.
Ooh, makes her save. As the bar rips around, hopefully smacking into the guy behind her. Yeah,
Certainly
23.
does.
Guy behind her, bopping him for 14.
Ooh.
And once again, these guys seem tough, but Tamar has got a bit of ki to spare as he tries to stun him silly as well.
All right. Ooh. 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 Ooh.
That makes it or not, I don't think so. It does not. DC 16.
All right.
He
Just unable to
loses
do
himself.
so. Clambers up the ship just to get close to you. It seems to be turning away to face at Persephone, and then you bash him at the backside of the head, and Persephone see him just fall stupid, his long serpentine tongue falling slack in his mouth.
As going to wheel Tamar's body around, sort of getting more into the midst of these creatures, wheeling his body around, sending a foot now clattering into the side of Stun Girl's body, just trying to put her out of commission, although these motherfuckers seem hardy.
Oh, yeah.
Punching in with advantage. Ooh, good thing with a 26.
Certainly.
And
Checking in at big. What's that? What was that? Which one you hitting?
little girl, cast a girl.
No girl. Nice.
And
That'll definitely
once
hit.
Once again, trying to stun.
Alrighty. Bow, 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 bow. Ooh,
Ooh, damn.
getting tougher with every hit.
As as with that, just wind picking up around his body as these creatures turned and tossed all over the place. Yeah, he's actually going to pull himself up over here, blocking the path of them getting to the ballista the best he can behind him. As he's just going to stand, pulling up the bar in front of him, a bit of wind whipping up around his body, as he's going to take the dodge action as a bonus action.
All right, good shit.
Self-defense, getting his defensive all the way up. Could not be more up.
Attaboy, all right.
That's me.
All right, this person down here is super dead.
She is
This
no
person
longer
up
stunned.
here is on the ground prone. Yeah, she gets out of her stun, but it's not quite her turn. As this one drags itself, I'm going to slide you out the way, thank you. This person pulls itself up from being prone and only makes it, let's see, 5 feet to there, so 10, still got halfway. Yeah, only make it about here, going to start dashing, trying to make its way to the helm of the ship. Oh, can't quite make it. And then sees this creature above her and sees it flying ahead. And instead of reaching the helm, seeing the other one clambering up to get to its feet, reaches down, pulls out a bow, and aims up to you, Persephone, but cannot shoot yet.
As she clambers back up and tries to pursue after Persephone, has still got a big old long bar. As she tries to escape my grasp, bar's gonna whip out, try to
That's
back
true.
her in the side of the head.
It will get some cover because it's about so many feet below you, but you can't see her as you're trying to shoot like down an angle.
30 to hit.
Don't need it. As that
Proper in the side of the dome, not connecting all that solidly, but enough to deliver a little bit of key.
Let's see. As she's going after you, Persephone! Ooh.
No.
It seems to be still swimming its way up towards you. Push it back to the front. But again, just pulls out its bow, starts aiming and putting, looks like glittering or glimmering, what do you call them? Arrows into the string. That's all it can do. Where's the other one? You dead. Girl, you dead. Nah, I just want you. That's fine. As back to the boys. Trying their best. One of them, let's see. Oh, God. I don't think you can do anything. You have to make a strength save. First, you get a sync. I'm going to go to the bottom one real quick. As one of them's completely underneath the ship and is probably super fucked. Ooh, that one's also super fucked. Got to try and free himself from the quicksand. Just enough to make it. As it glamours itself just from the beneath the ship, you see snakes catching on and drag itself to the edge. This one, I mean, there's no way to climb out as he's going to be stuck underneath here again for the next round. He can't move. He's restrained beneath the sand. He just sinks deeper.
Yeah, he does.
You don't know what happens to this Yanti from this day on because you never see him again. As he'll sink beneath the boat even deeper.
You don't know that. Cord could dive in to save him. You don't know.
True. That is true. Yeah, that's not my story to tell. Oh, God. Okay, hold on a second.
Oh,
Yep, interesting. As the sand begins to shift ever so slightly, and you can feel, all of you, at least, I guess, well, Temercon really, he only won't stay on the ship, feel suddenly the ship buck and rise as from the southern part of the ship, a massive maw flies out of the sand and consumes, to the best of its ability, boop, this Yanti, although its massive body does seem to knock itself underneath the bottom of the boat. First, he's going to try and attack this fucking thing that's prone with advantage. Chippity chomp. Ooh. As you see this thing get bitten and chomped, and then as it opens its mouth again, the Yanti is split in half from those teeth and then is immediately swallowed whole. And she gone. She gone. But underneath their feet, Temercon, fortunately dodging, giving you a bit of an edge, but everyone on the ship needs to make a dexterity saving throw as the thing bumps underneath the bottom of the ship. But you get advantage, because you are a dodgy boy.
Do I need to do it?
No, you're flying, girl. You're fine.
I'm flying.
As, ooh, yep, 26, you're absolutely fine. As all of you guys gotta make some really fucking hard saves. Not magical. Nope. And I think you don't matter, you don't matter, you don't matter, you might matter. One of the Monarchy fails. Yep. As all around you, the sudden bump knocks everyone up into the air and they hit the ground hard as basically everyone at this point, those stunned, those not, are knocked off their feet and are prone. You managed to keep on your feet, Temercon. Even the one that's aiming to blow up at Persephone gets knocked off its feet. This one down here is also knocked off its feet. Everyone's prone and then immediately sinks back into the abyss.
Shall we stop this now? Or do you want Medusa's pit to take you all?
Yeah, these creatures are a little bit delirious, a little stunned. Persephone.
Ooh, okay. Giant purple worm came out again. It likes our boat, apparently. Well, from here, Persephone is going to see that she almost got covered in arrows, or at least pelted with one arrow. So she is just going to put her hand down and using a little new connection to the Fae, I'm going to use some of my charges for my planty arm to cast Spike Grove down on the center of the ship.
Oh my golly.
And she is going to dive down to the steering wheel.
You're just hovering over the ground.
Oh, that's clever.
Yep.
Because she doesn't get affected by it.
And for my last trick, with a bonus action, she is going to pluck a flower off of her arm and have it turn into a little fairy. This fairy is going to fly around her as she gives herself a blessing of the summer court. As this fairy spins around her, it's going to give her a sort of warding blessing because I have fancy new effects with this thing now. And under
Way
the
to
warding
do it.
blessing, let's see, number of rounds equal to the number of dice spent. Oh, I didn't read that last sentence. Can I use more dice?
Certainly.
I'm going to go up to 3 dice to have Sanctuary on myself as I hold on to the helm.
Oh,
I love it. And you're protected by your Fey magic and all sorts of other magic.
I should be able to steer the boat. Just take care of all the auntie. Persephone says, surrounded by all these spikes that came up from nowhere.
And that's
That's it for me.
All right, as Corin,
I mean,
still challenged by these creatures, held in place and feeling this acid burning against your body, but not really affecting you entirely, still able to keep your strength about you. Still hold on to the ship. What do you do?
Turn to this new combatant, just like kind of look up at her and just be like, you know, I'm trying to have a conversation here. It's really rude. I'm going to turn back to the other man. So, are you sure about this? I mean, Medusa is on this ship now. I mean, you guys are kind of boned here. Besides, I'm sure I can introduce you to a better god. You know, one that doesn't require a lot of human sacrifices. Have you ever heard of Ioun?
False gods. There is but one. The supplanter. The consumer. As it pulls against your arm futilely.
Consumer, as I'm gonna use my aura just to burn people around me.
Ah!
It looks like the only thing that's consuming is the purple worm underneath the sand. You don't want to join him, do you?
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
I'm so good at this. It's good at this.
nice.
This pain racking over its body. No, we will be rewarded for our devotion. No, there is greatness waiting for us. Ascension. And what's your insight, Corin?
My passive insight?
Yeah,
10.
not great. Not great. Okay, that's fine. Yep, this thing seems to be strangely devout. Twisted for a moment, tried to save itself earlier, but now seeing itself unable to overcome your power, it just seems to be throwing itself at the wall.
Sad. Can I push things that have me grappled?
You can shove them.
I'm gonna shove this guy off of me.
Now, as you do put your hand against it, you feel this slime pressed against you as you will take another 3 acid damage stinging into your hand, but you can definitely try to shove it. Let's see if you can even compete. Nope. As you shove it 5 feet away.
Yep.
As it falls back over here just between the actual sled and the rest of the hole, seemingly catching itself with its serpent tail, but still managing to stay at level with you.
This is sadly going nowhere, as I'm just going to drag this guy over to the edge. Just kind of move him over, like the sand over here. Not drop him yet. Just grapple midair. Can I still control the hole from here?
I'm gonna say you're gonna have some trouble. You're basically holding onto the edge of it, steering it like this. I'm gonna say not fully at the helm. You're gonna have trouble facing the challenges. You're not gonna be considered controlling it.
I'm gonna give you one last try. Give up, or you can join the purple worm.
Yeah, I'd say with that roll, this creature seems like it's made up its mind. Lost in its fanatic frenzy.
Oh well. I'm gonna go a little bit further, I guess. Put him directly over the sand and just drop him.
I think you don't have enough. Well, let's see. 10, 15. Yeah, you can move him just enough. As he would fall. And clamber down into the sand.
As I move back.
Grapple rolls, so fun. I get my speed back. Although, as you move back, this thing would try to lash out at you with its tail. Lashing out. Come back here. 17. As you are kept restrained at its side, taking another Taking another. Ooh, just only 1 acid damage. As it holds you.
No, you will free this wheel. If we fall together for the winged serpent.
Ma'am, I'm trying to steer this boat. You know it's really unwieldy as I think I still have another action. I'm gonna try and push it again.
Oh,
Oh, you
God.
No, you did. Yeah, you did. You can try to push again. Give her that push. Yep. You will take another as you put your hand against it. 2 acid damage, but you do push it 5 feet away, falling down onto the sled down here, but still staying on its tail.
Let's see. I don't think I have enough movement to move back though. Well, it's half movement to like move over here, right?
Yep, it took 10 feet to go there. You did move him 10 feet, so that's 20 feet of movement.
I moved back another 10 feet.
Yeah.
I can move 5 feet back.
I'm gonna say it's not quite there. You're reaching for it. You're clambering back for the wheel as it's starting to spin.
Uh-oh.
Do I have any? I used my bonus action. I shouldn't have burned them. Oh well. If we die, we die. That's my turn.
All right. As Samantha, as you're engaging with this creature, you can see to the side, this thing now frantic, just like the last one, but to the corner, you can see the one that shot the ballista is now turning and sort of watching very hesitantly, making its way quickly towards the stairs, wanting nothing to do with the situation.
Which one is making its way towards the stairs? This one.
This one, like, get the fuck out of here.
Both of my one-liner opportunities are gone, and I don't know what I want to do anymore, so give me a second.
Barter. Just unhinge the jaw.
And you, my dear, will die.
And this one's still on the ballista, like looking toward the ship.
Yep, that one still seems to be trying to sink the enemy ship that has a sniper on it, seemingly almost one-shotting the other shooters. Kind of a priority. Please don't fucking kill me. Although you probably tell from its expression it's in a pretty dire state.
Beatings will continue until morality improves.
Yep. That's what are you doing, Samantha?
Just coming up behind her and just, you know, you ever just be fucking around in the computer lab doing some shit you weren't supposed to do, and the teacher comes up and puts their hand on your shoulder and just, you know, tells you it's time to log off?
Certainly.
I'm gonna need you to log off for me. That's enough Counter
There's some
Strike.
big old penises there on that screen there, buddy. Can you talk? We're gonna have to go to my office.
That reminds me of a story that I will talk about.
Oh, yeah. As, yeah, this thing, once you appear behind it, just stepping down, sort of sliding down the 10-foot slide that comes down the ladder to this thing, just making it with 30 feet of movement. This thing turns to look at you and immediately takes his eyes away from the ship just to look and watches, not quite scared, but just more frantic to see what you'll do.
Seeing her less monstrous than the, I have snakes for arms, or I have the snake tail, or I'm just, you know, all snake. There is just the slightest sort of twinge at the side of her mouth from this frown and these growing fangs, as Samantha just almost looks at her with what can be best summarized as a flash of pity. Yield.
Roll me a persuasion check. As immediately hands move away from the ballista, this thing turns its back to face you, but like its hands are at its waist, sort of like keeping itself. Looks like a hand's maybe going for something dangerous, but not immediately trying to grab at a weapon, just trying to keep itself open. Highly defensive, but immediately at this display, your voice still powerful and carrying, you overwhelming it with your presence, immediately obeys.
She just turns away from her, but some of her snakes continuing to watch her, seeing Corin having the shoving match of his life at the front of the boat and then seeing the wheel just sort of spin wildly. She just throws her scepter forward, and as it just flies to the head, just past the wheel, she just, as a bonus action, teleports, catches it, and lands in front of the wheel.
Oh, I missed that.
She just looks at you with a face of the same sort of anger, but not directed towards you. Are you going to keep fighting as well? Looking at the snake hands McGee that's half crumpled on
He's under. Which one?
this one. Is he underneath the boat?
He's underneath. He's the one underneath the boat.
Are you going to keep fighting? Yep, this one's still on the edge of the ship, and you can see this one over here clambering back onto the sled.
Clambering back onto the sled. Okay. Okay, can I change what I was gonna do since I didn't realize he was below the ship?
Sure.
Yeah. So then, I would do essentially the same thing, but just here, since I would have enough movement to
Okay.
get to the wheel after what I'm planning on doing. Seeing these two on the pontoons, or one of them in the sand, about to join his friend down here. Do you want to live? As Samantha sort of looks toward the one with the snake tail that's just on the edge, dripping in acid, and sort of biting into her own lip, she holds out a hand.
You can see this thing looking up and down, having been bullied and bodied across the ship, and now seeing you extending a hand.
I wish to rise from where I am.
As she'll reach a hand out towards you.
Then the Serpent Empress will help you rise, as she grabs a hold of her hand and tries to pull her onto the ship.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and give me a grab. Well, let me grapple check. This thing's far enough. Actually, how fucking strong are you?
I'm not very, very strong. She's a pretty big girl.
Yeah, I'd say you could grapple onto her hand, but she's gonna take most of her movement to get up. She got a lot of weight to her, a lot of snake body.
Stick. And that
What was
thick
that?
tail.
Okay. So I can't use my movement then.
To move her?
Yeah.
Well, for one, a little too heavy for you. Two, you have no movement left. Could later, potentially. Actually, nah, you could probably move her with like 5 feet because she's a little too
Yeah,
heavy for your more than your
I-
carry capacity.
I far stepped over to her instead of the wheel because the
No, but
home-
you walked. I know, but you walked down here and then down's a 10-foot drop, so you slid down the ladder to get to her.
Oh, okay, I thought it was only 15 feet. My bad. All right then.
Yeah.
Then yeah, that's all you got for me.
All right. As this creature, no longer stunned, rises itself off the ground, having been tossed and turned and battered, getting its mind against itself. It turns over to you, Tamarkan, who seems to be completely unfazed by this, and over to Persephone. Let's see how much you got. Perfect. Who seems to be holding the helm. God, what are you gonna do? How smart are you? How smart are you? Sure, why the fuck not? Bit of a desperation state.
You make fools of his worshippers.
Fall! As you'll see his hands clap together, and familiar-looking green energy sparks over its hands, and it splits them in half. As a shot coming at each of you, Tamarkan and Persephone, this thing shoots some Eldritch blasts at you.
It's gotta make a wisdom save.
It certainly does. As against you, Persephone, what does it look like when this thing has to make a wisdom save? Like, what causes it to befoul its movements?
Oh, fuck. For glitter.
Ooh, she just ooh girl faces at her.
Yeah, she just ooh. No.
Are you sure you
She
want to
does-
hurt little old me?
Yeah, the little fairy just kind of like notifies her that something is trying to hurt her, and then she just looks over and she gives it the sweetest smile.
Let's see.
No, no, bad, no,
don't.
no.
My
And you
spell
see it
save
in
is
As it
19.
looks at you, it
Say 19.
squints its eyes. And just almost against all odds, this thing shows me a twinge of emotion, false to its nature, and then immediately turns and fires that shot at Tamarkan instead.
Thank you.
All right, let's see that double nat 20s, quadruple nat 20s. Come on, let's do it.
Let's
Tamar's
see.
fine.
Disadvantage. Pew!
Not even close. Tamar, full defense, armor glorious in its nature, as he just brings the bar up and just splits this beam of energy.
Second one flies around your shoulders.
Just slams it away from his body. Enough. Enough. As the
And you'll see-
demeanor on Tamar's face slowly starts to change.
That's right. And you see this thing slink to the edge and then sort of jump and carefully, as best it can, climb its way down until it's just out of sight. As it makes its way to the edge of the ship, the other one, you don't know what happens to that other creature lost to the annals of history in the belly of a beast, unless you might find it later. Who knows? As Quillor, your ship is wounded. It is starting to turn and toss. Samantha has jumped to the other ship. God, it seems like this thing's about to get ready to go down.
So follow. Take the wheel, because I'm going to run, and then I'm going to jump my 22 feet there. As I will bonus action, double Misty Step.
Hey.
Put me, right there.
Landing on this mast here. Or land on
I still
the
have
sled.
5 feet of movement. As I'll get up to him. Greetings from the Sand Whisperer. As I'm gonna knock the shit out of this thing.
All right. All right.
Knock
Ooh.
him out.
How does that first attack knock him out?
As he just kind of looks up at me as the sword just comes pummeled down right in the top of the head, right between. It's almost like where there's a with snakes. There's this almost scale in between their eyes. Oftentimes it's a different color in most snakes. This one is no exception. It's just a slight tinge differently as I just hit it right there. Boom. I don't know what a knockout Smianti.
As you bonk this thing on the head, its head like neck turns, almost cartoonishly wiggling, and then it falls unconscious at the ground before you. It's got two more attacks.
This 5. This is up, right?
Yep, 10 feet up.
I think I only have 5 feet of movement left, so I don't think I can get up any higher.
Probably not.
I will get a little bit more sturdy though in this. I'm assuming this is like a little walkway.
Oh yeah.
Is there a ladder over here at all?
You know, if
Ladder
it's
up
this
front.
ship's if this ship's anything like yours, it's like it's got a ladder on either side of the door that led to the little hut
Okay.
where you get to sit on top of.
All right. That is all of my stuff.
Alrighty. As let's see, this creature, oh god, prone, let me move you a little thing, gets up, pulls itself up. All I want to do is dash, takes a step here inside here. Owie. Owie.
Yeah, get hurt.
Takes a whopping 7 damage. As it steps right down, you hear this pain cry, ah!
They've taken the ship. Ah. Oh, what will we do?
As it looks up, sees its allies being spilled out into the sand, the large mound spilling down, it turns back to Persephone.
Yeah. Winged serpent,
Mel.
guide me.
As
Driving Miss Daisy.
he's gonna dash.
Ooh,
He doesn't make it very far,
Most painful dash that there ever
Oh,
was.
God.
but ripping and tearing. You see this thing with a complete lack of really any emotion besides just bloodlust in its eyes. Persephone sprinting towards you, steps of blood beneath its feet as it is rushing towards you, basically frothing at the mouth with a sword in its hand. That's as far as he can go. This dude's stunned and sleepy. He can't do shit. Ba, 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 ba. And little girl on the sled. This one just got bopped next to you. I don't think it took any damage. Slides itself up onto its feet. And immediately seeing you standing there, brimming in your armor, Tamarkan, it seems to reach at its side and pull out a knife and just sort of stick it between you and it. Stay back. Stay back.
She just looks at me. My attention turns to her, just looking down as she starts to get back to her face, and all the joy and sort of playfulness is drained out of Tamar's face, and he's just staring down at her out of the bottom of his eyes, just with disdain.
As she will do her best to pull herself to the edge here, but then looking down, seeing one of these maleficent Malisons tearing itself across the spiked ground. Seems to be dangerous territory. It just sort of seems to be stuck. It just corners itself, keeping its knife between you and it, but not directly lashing out at you. This creature here. Oh god. Oh god, I'm gonna move you, Bubble. There we are. Boop. You get to the front. You pull yourself up your little tiny feet and little dancy little snake feet. Boop, boop, boop. And all you're gonna do is go run the fuck over here. There we are. Tucks down. Although with your crazy senses, both of you, I don't think you guys would be able to discern that. Oh well, yeah, no. Very quiet feet. This thing tries to tuck down and hide on the side of the sled, although you guys are both able to quite easily tell, even with the sand blasting around you, there's movement down there. And this creature here, oh no, I'm going to move your thing real quick. Okay, oh god. And then we're gonna put you... Come on. Oh golly, why? Why did I do this to myself? There we go.
Because it was
Yes,
gonna
to
look
his
so
feet.
fucking cool.
It's like right there. Oh god, let me try that again. Huh? No, that wasn't right. That wasn't right at all. Hold on, I got you. Back to where you came from. There you go. Okay, anyway. Good old Omen. Always prepared. Take a step forward. Actually, no. If it sees you cast, it knows the ground's been fucked up. So it's going to stand up and just carefully keep itself in place. See Persephone staring quite happily at the ship, and then just, reaches for her hand for a knife, but it seems like its body's kind of battered and twisted. It just sort of catches the edge of the ship and looks around for a place to escape, but it seems to be none. As the ship...
For me.
First of all, the ship you're on, Sotalo, immediately... Let's see. Roll a d20 for me, Sotalo.
Oh, no.
I think this will be fine. Oh no, it's odd. Alright. That's
Alright.
okay. I can just turn it twice.
As immediately the ship turns up towards... Oh, hold on, let me get everyone on there. Let me get everyone playing. Nope, that's too close. Oh god, it happened, didn't it, Omen? It did. You weren't prepared for this. Just kidding, I'm prepared for everything. I'm gonna wiggle this over here, twists in this ram direction, and then moves 30 feet on its own. And then moves an additional time, Swift Hollow. You can't fail this. But the thing turns on its own as the hull is damaged.
Oh, great. I could just ram it.
Oh, this worked out wonderfully.
Wow.
As let's see, no one's.
It
Oh
goes
god,
in
no
dumb
one's using the
direction.
ship here.
Like the other.
Corin,
Well,
roll me a d20. Hey, as the ship seems to move. Let's see. Nobody's controlled the ship except for Persephone. Let's see. Yeah, right. Yeah. Its current direction and moves. The only way to stop a ship from moving is if you hold the helm. Otherwise, it's gonna keep on fucking moving. As this thing continues on its path, moving forward 30 feet and a big ol' straight. Whee. And Persephone, what are you doing at the helm? Feeling this wheel starting to turn with your hands. You have control of the ship, girl. What do you do?
I do. I look
Slingshot
over.
everyone off.
Yeah, I look over and I see, oh god, that doesn't look good. Swift Hollow almost, rear ends us because Quildor is on board! And, I see this
I'm sure
other
it's
ship
fine.
moving towards us. Oh, okay, this might not be bad. Hold on, everyone, as I'm going to try to turn it towards the right in hopes to kind of, like, avoid collisions.
Okay. So further moving it like that, like that.
Yeah.
Slide back into place. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that should work.
And are you
Alright,
moving
so-
it all, or are you keeping it? Are you keeping it in
No.
place?
I'm going to try to keep it in place. I
Okay.
don't want to get too far from everyone else.
Bashing the side of your ship as it seems to be moving in a different direction. Not quite as far, but you're able to keep yourself from basically catching the wind too much, sort of bashing into the sides of sand dunes. Although it seems to be getting closer and closer. These ships.
You gotta reorient the sand, Omen, because now we're going to the northwest. You gotta change the direction the sand's going, bud. I'm sure you prepared for that, right?
Rotate. Oh shit!
Oh god! Subtolo, you see the ship beneath your feet swerving wildly, but you're somehow able to keep control. What do you do, bud?
Well, accepting my death isn't really an option, so Swift Hollow, from the command
this
of the
is pod
helm,
racing.
shoots this guy. Shoots this guy.
So runs
Actually,
over
wait, no, he's not near
here.
any of my allies. This guy's
He's
dead.
Grab-
Right?
also.
He's also
That
prone.
dude's unconscious. You can shoot him if you want, but he's unconscious.
Oh wow, even better. Insult
As
to
these
injury.
guys are all standing, this guy's prone.
Wow, that's not good.
Anyone who has a marker is basically not prone.
Yeah.
She's
What's
hiding.
she
you-
looking like?
You'd be able to tell. Swift Hollow. She didn't. Against your passive. How
have
big's
pretty
your
high
big,
passive
beautiful
perception.
Yep, you can see her there.
Yeah,
She's
trying
hiding.
to take aim at me too. Is she panicking?
She's panicking the fuck out. She's well, not like panicking. She's more like just getting like anxious and pulling away to hide,
Oh,
like a wounded or like a wounded or anxious animal.
that's
more than-
unfortunate. I don't get my sneak attack on any of these guys. All right, I'll shoot the guy that's gunning for Persephone.
All right. Yep. I'd say with that angle, you got a pretty good clean shot. Give me that attack.
Sick.
As an 18 will connect. Doing 19 piercing damage, catching it in the back. Doing 30.
Moves her speed up.
Nice.
And yeah, grabs the helm.
All right, catches on the ship. Seems like you got it under control now, although it still seems to be veering to and fro. Give me a hold on. Give me a dexterity saving throw. As you're running across the ship, it seems to be veering wildly beneath your feet.
I'm good at these. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Or acrobatics check, rather. Actually, I'm thinking you can fail that.
I
Is
can't.
it? Hold on, double check. Let me double check. Either way, I think you're fine. Oh, golly. Yeah, you're fine. As this thing is wildly turning beneath your feet, but you're able to keep your balance as you run across it, as you make it to the helm.
Yeah, that's what I'll finds the rhythm in all this chaos, as she usually does.
Mm-hmm.
Runs across, grabs the helm.
Nice.
Points in.
Alrighty. So it's how are you looking, bud? Up, bud.
Little
Up,
sand
bud.
boy.
Dropped into the sand. Certain starts. Sinks even further. Oh yeah, hold on. Ship's gotta move a little bit. Sorry about that. Dudes are getting fucking crushed.
Squish.
Boop. A boop. A boop. So we're gonna go pull back here real quick. There we go. And then these dudes get fucking tunneled under. This dude. Oh god, stop zooming in that way, Omen. It breaks your computer when you do that. There you go. This guy gets fucking pummeled. I don't think the ram damage is gonna be low enough. I don't think so. I honestly, guys, don't think so. Nope.
Uh-oh.
As this boy gets fucking pummeled and you can hear another beneath the ship. This one's on here. This guy also gets pummeled beneath the ship. Really bad way. Oh, poor baby. Really, honestly. Just getting horribly pummeled and sinking even further. Yeah, there's no way you're getting back up from that. As I think that's all you? Yes, sir. I'm gonna say for the intents and purposes, you're out of there. Let's see you. Purposes, you're out of there. Bunk. As your sneaky girl. Under there. Yep. This one that you left alone, Samantha, instead just ducks down here, keeps itself distant. This one climbs down here, makes 10 feet, and then goes the rest of its movement here. Ducks away. It seems as if they're just trying to keep themselves alive. Seeming to spot mercy somewhere on this ship. All right. As the creature hoisting itself towards you, Samantha takes your hand and pulls itself up. You can see immediately its eyes flash and its teeth begin to grit.
I must rise with my god.
As it will snap at you with its tail. Like he was not being particularly honest. Yeah. Whipping through the air around you.
As I sort of just move my head just slightly, all of my snakes looking at her as she tries to constrict onto me. You really want to be worm food, don't you?
Not.
And she'll take her sword and swippity swipe it at you. Acha! Ooh, at 26.
It's a pity. I thought to have mercy even for you. Too far gone. Too far gone.
She cuts it across your body.
Sort of focusing in on how conflicted Samantha's feeling. She manages to find an opening. And as she cuts into me for the 9 slashing damage, even if Samantha loses a bit of focus, her serpents do not, as 4 of them just lash onto her and pump her full of necrotic energy.
Ooh. Let's see. Advantage. Constitution. Not gonna do it. And she'll take the full damage. Ooh, 21.
I also let go of her.
As she slides back down to the edge, and she falls incapacitated. She tries to speak, but her words become slurred. Louisa! And you just see this, unlike the last creature you just spoke to, that seemed to have a moment of recognition in this thing's eyes, Samantha, even though you aren't particularly the wisest creature, you can see it. There is just this somewhat familiar sense of dedication, focused malice, and hatred, or something like it, whatever the Yanti feel in place of emotions. This thing, like you said, seems far too gone. Distorted itself for a god that seems to try and supplant you. That's all he can do. And he's all incapacitated. Oh, that's wrong. The other one is also all incapacitated. It doesn't get turn. So to the end of your turn. Nice. Poison. Poison to the end of your next turn. Nice. Nice, 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 nice.
Yeah, so I guess the far
He'd be up.
goes
He'd
to
be
one.
up. I was thinking because it's
she'd
into
be
your
able
next turn.
to- Yeah, she'd be able to go.
As turning around, unable to make it quite quick enough, but making it to the edge here. Slytherin on her little height. She will actually move here so you can get a better view. No, here, a better view. She would see you lashing out at its sister and go, pull out its bow and fire 2 shots at you, Samantha. It's you. 10. Flying over your head. Next stop. Ooh. Catching your side, but doesn't quite burn as the other arrow should.
And she just looks out from the wound and just snaps the arrow.
As that's all it can do on its perch. Tamar Khan.
Tamar, with this look on his face, starts to take some slow strides forward up to the top of this little high-rise part of the boat, looking down at this cowering individual on his right, and this thing sort of cowering and cuddled up, stunned and prone on the left of him. Looks out at the rest of the boat. Enough. Your orders have fallen. My mistress has given you a warning and offers you life or death to her pets of teeth. Look at her gifts that she can give as Tamar's hand just explodes into this massive fist as hair explodes off of his left and right as he uses 2 charges of his shifting ability to take on that perfected form, making his form last longer as his hair just covers his entire body as he almost hulks out a sort of ways as everything just becomes larger in size. Throw away this fight. Die or surrender. And maybe she will show mercy. As he raises his hand up in the air as magic starts to coalesce around his hand, as above him this greenish energy starts to form as a gigantic visage of Samantha's face forms. The snake starting to unroil around her head as they seem to pick out every single one of these creatures as she just bares her fangs. Last chance as I use my free silent image.
Hey. As roll me, I'd say
I'm trying to deceive them.
I would say, yeah, either intimidation or deception.
Oh yeah. Little. Can I bargain for advantage?
I'd say so. Pretty good speech,
Nice.
using some magic. Although, let's see. Go for it, go for it.
Fuck.
Oh.
As immediately, with that magic coalescing around you, from what you can see, the creatures trying to hide and otherwise keep themselves away immediately pin themselves to the walls. You can hear the clattering of weapons dropping to the floor. The purebloods, as they're known, seem to be completely content with ending this conflict, but these creatures around you, the ones even stunned next to you, left in this completely open state, most creatures, even those of beasts, would think at this point, time to give up, time to yield to the greater thing, but the snakes next to you, the way they stare, the way they look, even at this visage of their old god, you can tell with your insight, these things have long since abandoned it, and instead are driven by something you cannot see. Something horrid, something that you can only imagine is maddening to them. As the serpent that turns its head to see you rushing towards Persephone stomps on top of a large thorn, piercing right up to its foot. It grits its fangs together, stares at you for a moment, and then rears its head back to Persephone. Hellbent.
I will show mercy instead. Maybe when you awake, you might still live. All the darkness will stay. I guess none of you can see. Maybe Persephone you can see. As Tamar's weird, enlarged form, you can see flicking back and forth behind him. Two little tails. If that's me, that's all my actions, baby.
Good shit, baby. Alright, as this creature on the ground prone rises itself up on the spikes, I'm gonna move you real quick. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, God.
As I use my beast of many shapes. Many natures? Whatever it's called. My enduring beast.
Damn it, keep doing it. Yes, sir.
Bigger
There we
and
go.
thicker. Hairier.
Girthier.
As it rises up, and yeah, it's gonna... It slithers up the spikes, just taking one little bit of damage as it just drags its serpent body over the spikes. Poor thing. But it manages to move its bloodied body up towards the steps, and immediately as it gets next to this pure blood, Temercon, you can see its tail just whips out at it and shoves it aside.
More of inferior thing. Weak you are. Weak. You do not know his strength. You. I know not of what powers you. This false idol is gone. Beg or fall.
And even now you can see this thing's bloodied and bleeding. There's no way this thing could stand up to you on its own, and yet it tries. Tail reaching out for you. Slurpy and slimy and covered in goo. 10.
I will just kick away the tail. Gone. But returned.
Snaps at you with the sword. 18, not doing it either.
Slap the sword away with my big old bar, the weight of it just sending her wrist flying.
Alrighty. As that's all you got, I think the rest of you are gone, eaten to the annals of time. Oh god, poor boy, serpent boy getting trampled to death. One of them climbs back up onto the ship, makes it just about here-ish. Just in time to see Corrin reaching over for the wheel or trying to. These hands whipping out your direction, Corrin.
Die. Die. Die.
Snap. Ooh.
Oh.
First one, swim through the air and catching onto your side. Doing 4 and 13 damage. as the next one swipes out in a fury. 15, oop, not doing it, just missing you. That's as far as he can reach with his long, snapping hands. Oh, wait, yeah, it's about as far as he can go. Okay. Loud music, things falling. Oh boy, it's gonna be interesting.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see, one moment. Yeah. As just before you, Samantha, this creature that roiled back, still standing there in a sort of a dazed state against your ship, the sand bulges. Moments ago, a creature had fallen into the sand and plummeted beneath the ship, stirring the sands, and from there, this massive mouth explodes and knocks against the side of the ship. Massive mouth coming down for incapacitated creature. First thing in front of it. Chomp. Ooh. As the mouth immediately swims out of the sand, chomps down on this thing, and then drags it down into the murk below, out of sight. And as it drags its way down, actually it bumps up next to your ship. Yeah, I'm gonna need everyone on the ship to give me a dexterity or acrobatics. No, dexterity saving throw. As things bashing itself against the ship to get this thing, and then pulling itself down. Ooh. Ooh, okay, you. Oh golly gee whiz, oh golly gee whiz, oh golly, oh golly, oh golly gee whiz. Oh golly gee whiz, look at all you serpents, trying your best to stand, not quite enough. Ooh, as this creature falls prone, this one falls prone. Corin, you feel the ship buck beneath your body suddenly as you are knocked prone as well as this creature down. Nope, you're fine. You're standing up fine. Samantha able to keep your footing as this thing drags itself back down to the sand, and then once more you see this tail come swinging down, and Samantha, roll me a d20.
Just sort of watching this thing. Does it have eyes that I can see as it bursts out of the sand?
It seems like this thing burst right into the ship, knocked this creature out off its edge, and sort of just chomped down wildly in the air. It seems like it was able to sense where this thing was moving around, driven by some sort of movement, possibly in the sand or around it. This thing was just the closest thing next to it. But nothing of actual discernible eyes on it.
Yeah, Samantha just sort of watches this Malison get eaten calmly and just feels a little Ahab energy.
All right. Ooh. As this thing comes swimming back down, bursting with sand, like you'd seen before, this massive, like, pine cone of spikes on its tail comes swinging down wildly, coming right at you. Tail stinger. Oof. Ooh. Not taking any poison damage, I imagine, being immune, but these spikes do come crashing down around you and push hard down on the ship, as you'll take 16 piercing damage. As this thing goes ripping down back into the sand. Kapoom. As this creature also just seems... Oh god, no. Oh, vanishes as well. Chomp. Poor baby. As Persephone, your magic still holding? Seems like the enemies are not yielding, at least not most of them. Even against Temercon's powerful presence.
Okay. Persephone wants to think on how to slow it down. And it has sails, which means if she can lift the sails, it will be slower. So she's looking around, holding onto the helm. She's trying to see if there is, like, I don't know what they're called, but how does she undo the sails? Rigging.
You can go do an action just to completely uphold. Basically, I guess it's weird because it's backwards, right? You're lifting, you're lowering the sails when you're unfurling them, and you're lifting the sails. And you're dropping the sails when you're rising. Basically, you can find some ropes to pull. It would take your action to do so. You can fly over to find them on the mast and sort of just undo them, and just take your full action to actually start pulling.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Where are they? Because I need to...
Just right under here, about a big old haste. Just fly over to them.
Oh, it's like, it's right here?
Oh, hold on, run, sorry. There we go. Wrong layer.
Wrong layer. There we go. All right, and how far up?
They're just along the. They're enough to where if someone on the deck level could pull on them to raise and lower them, so you could just easily go up to do it.
Yeah,
with your immense speed.
Yeah, she just flies on over, and I'm gonna use my action to lift them up. I guess in this case, I don't really want to make it go to a full stop, so I'm just going to try to half its speed.
Gotcha. All right. It seems to slow down to a slower speed. The wind not so much catching it and sort of becoming a more gentle ride.
Okay, that's good. And she's just gonna zip back to the wheel.
Alrighty.
And that's gonna be me, and hope that her fairy sanctuary holds.
Seems like it's keeping up so far. As Corin, prone on the ground, something just bit at you really hard from behind. Giant worm just ate a snake. Seems like their numbers are thinning, but the more serpentine ones are not willing to yield. What do you do, my friend?
I use half my movement to stand back up, just kind of rub my side and look at Mr. Snake Arm and say, that would actually kind of hurt. That was really rude. And turn back to Samantha. So I tried to convince them. Like, I give them like 8 tries. They don't want to listen to me. I don't know why. So do you think he could handle the wheel? I'm not too terribly good at it. So just step closer to this guy and pull out my shovel, just look at him and just say, no. Bad. And I'm gonna hit him with the shovel.
Bonk. How do you kill him or knock him out?
Or knock him out.
Bad. Bow.
Just one fucking Flintstone style shovel on his head. This thing's immediately, his head twitches, the snake hands twitch, and they all fall limp to the ground.
And remembering that I saw some arrows kind of fly and go look towards that other creature and be when I heard just wiggle my finger as my bonus action, I'll use 2 charges of my cape as my jetpack blows in the wind as I just kind of fly up to her. And I do the same thing, just bonk her in the face.
All right, prone on the ground, whack her easily. As you smack her in the face, just to bring herself back up, but unable to truly defend herself in a really bad state.
Now, what have we learned?
Pass the knives. He spits out a bunch of teeth. Samantha.
Sort of centering herself and wincing from the pain of that giant creature. Oh wait, you know what? Hold on. I am not a paladin. That's right. It's an advantage. Hey, 20. All right, good shit.
That'll do.
Yeah. I will go over to the wheel, and this actually is like a mesh. Can you actually see? Do you see the sand, or do you see the lower deck?
You see the lower deck.
Yeah, I sort of just like look down there, trying to see if I can see the civvies and the like with
your
devil's sight.
incredible divine vision, unable to be deterred by shadow. You definitely see a number of glittering eyes looking up from the darkness at you. A number of them still trying to find in this contained space something of footing. Looks like they've been sort of tossed and turned around quite a bit on the ship. But they seem mostly okay. You can see at least almost a dozen of them or so in the ship. I steal the ship again.
I smack them into the walls. Samantha just sort of looks around and sees the bulge and the fights on the other side, and just bellows out across the battlefield once again. It seems the purebloods have seen reason. The rest of you will join your so-called god. And then let's deal with this damn worm. As Samantha is going to try to take control of this ship and bring it alongside the other large ship.
Okay. I'll do that at the end of the round. Still got your action stuff, though.
Oh, yeah, I still got my action. Okay, I haven't fucking fucked with the ships yet. My bad.
Nah, you're fine.
He's still being crushed?
You hear him being ground up beneath the sand in the boat. There is a giant serpent that was once incapacitated by you, laying on the ground, being pummeled in the face with a shovel.
Bad.
That's fine. Can I see the other boat?
Is it? You can definitely see the other boat. It's fine.
Yeah, seeing this one sort of calling on the determination of this winged serpent and trying to make his way towards Persephone. Not with advantage. 3 of my serpents just lock onto him and just unleash horrid blasts of wildfire, just trying to obliterate and push him off the boat.
As normally, he'd have a shit ton of cover, but you are a spell sniper, able to launch over the wall to get to him. As that first one will go wild, flying through the air and smashing the sand past the ship, but the other 2 will definitely connect, doing ooh. How do you want to kill this thing? Wow,
He's
perfectly
like
kill this thing.
gritting his teeth and calling on fucking Carl or whatever the fuck that false prophet's name is. I'm gonna stop her. I'm gonna stop her. And then he just realizes he's like trying to say I'm gonna stop her as his head is tumbling to the ground, separated from his body as his body gets tossed out into the sand.
20 feet. Anything else you want to do?
No, I think that should be it.
Persephone, from her boat, she looks back and she waves.
And she gives you like the smallest finger wave. Yeah, that should be it.
All right. As they're gone, Quildor just knocked this creature out, boarded the enemy ship. You see her, Tamar Khan, calling out in a powerful voice above the ship in this massive shape, silent as it is, of a waving serpentous head of, looks like Samantha.
What have the purebloods been doing?
Looks like they're just trying to get the fuck out of the way. This one has nowhere to run. The ground's covered in what looks to be spikes. You can tell with your passive perception that the ground has been shifted into a sort of a thorny maze that Persephone has been quite accustomed to creating. This Yonti here, though, seems to be just sort of stuck where it is. Just it dropped its weapon the moment Tamar Khan made that speech and is now just sort of keeping itself out of the way on wanting to be a part of this.
And the ladder's right here?
On the front of this part here, yes.
Spike growth goes on the ground. I'm going to run and no, I don't want to touch that. No, I don't want to touch that. Let me touch my character token. Fucking. I'm going to grab the railing of this ladder and just swing over without touching the ground.
Okay.
And climb up it.
That's fair. You're pretty strong. I know, right?
So, no,
I gotcha.
Go away.
I gotcha.
So I'm going to go up there, and he's prone?
He is standing there prone and stunned. He's not standing, more just laying there on the ground.
Oh, okay.
He's not stunned anymore.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
How do you put him to sleep?
Just over and over, just pummel the sword.
Just as he was coming to from his delirious state, a flaming sword comes right between his eyes and knocks him unconscious.
So that would have been 5, 10, 15.
You do see this creature facing off against Tamarkon.
Yep, I'll come next to my buddy. I heard it's less than a minute, so Samantha's still super loud. I will go with my...
Still got that action surge.
Yeah, but she said we're gonna go fight a big worm.
I did say
I'm saving it for the worm.
I did say that we're gonna fight the worm.
She said we're gonna go fight a big worm.
Okay.
So I will go into my front line fighting style. Be ready to defend Tamarkon against this fucking snaky thing.
Nice. All right. Let's see. Where are you at, girl? Are you here? Oh, yeah, you're gone. Blasted off the edge. This thing's unconscious. They're done. Let's see. Snake girls. Oh, you got fucking completely eated. If these girls are just going to be hiding away, you can see one of them immediately. Okay, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Just pulls away, tries to see, follows after Quildor's kind of maneuver, grabs onto the edge and tries to slide itself down away. And immediately as it does, you can see this serpent turn her head as her serpent tail wides behind her.
Coward! Traitor!
as she will reach out and try to slice at her.
Hey.
I don't think
It's as she's trying to move away with opportunity attack, so...
Oh,
I
would fucking stab it. Yep.
Okay, she's gonna try and stab it first. She's gonna get her little swing off.
Both trying to stab her. Poor little feller. Just trying to leave.
Ooh, just catching on and doing 31.
31.
Are you stabbing at this girl? Or 13? My eyes are backwards today. Are you stabbing at the girl running away? Cruel door? Or are you sentineling?
This one, right?
This one's turning to stab at this girl who's running away.
Yeah, I'm gonna sentinel this. The mean one.
Hell yeah. Using your reaction to attack someone attacking an ally. Give me that attack roll.
Be normal.
You're my ally now, girl. I save you. Ooh, as that'll just connect.
Hey.
Doing a damn good amount of damage, mama. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, as you cut into this thing, side fire sears up its body, coated in acid. Ah! Ooh, actually. Oh, yeah. As you cut into this thing, you see immediately its form twist and spray as you will take a little bit of acid damage. Only 5. As you did smack it with your sword.
I don't want it. Never go away.
But yeah, this girl, after taking a blow, will run down here and, yeah, the best of her ability, keep out of the sight of the way of this creature. The rest of them are just seem to be hiding, doing their best to move and stay away from all the danger. As okay, Swift Hollow, holding on to the boat's wheel. What do you do when you're still feeling it turn or trying to turn randomly? What do you do?
Which way is the boat listing?
Which way is it listing? It's hard to say. It lists to and fro. You're going over sand dunes.
It doesn't decide. It doesn't decide the direction now.
It seems like depending on where you're going, what you're facing, what you're doing on the ship, it can turn it to and fro. You're taking on sand. It seems like it turned this way last time, so maybe it'll turn that way again.
What the DM was.
Maybe. As Swift Hollow just turns it hard to the left.
All right.
I wonder if I have enough clearance that I won't just ram it.
So you're just turning 45 degrees there. There you go.
Yeah, straight to now.
I just turn like complete 90 degree.
Yeah, I guess I'll just turn in just enough to be straight with the other.
Ram them all together at the end just
You
for
can
shits and
see-
giggles. Kill everyone.
Can Swift Hollow
Straight.
see the ship in front of her? Is
Yes,
half
yes,
mast?
calm down. I'm trying to make it straight. So, hang on.
The idea of
I
Purse
can't
trying to
actually
run
touch
away
the
from
token.
Swift Hollow.
Yeah.
So like straight this way or like straight
No,
this
no,
way?
straight with the ship, straight relative with that ship. Oh, I'm at show
Parallel?
hide.
Yeah,
Straight
so
with
they're
this
side
ship,
by
so
side.
I mean I won't actually.
Oh, I see. So like there you go. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
Parallel.
Parallel.
And there's moving.
Let's see. Oh, evading takes 2 actions. Yeah, I guess move.
Okay. How far? Oh, okay. 1 sec. How far are you moving?
Let's
You move
see.
up to your
I guess I'll just
speed,
match its
actually-
speed.
What's that?
Just match its speed. Trying to keep up.
Okay. Just
So-
trying to keep up with this.
Probably.
seems like it's-
I mean, I'm moving faster than it technically.
Yeah.
So. Probably
Keeping
don't have to
speed
move
with
too
it.
far.
Yeah, keeping speed would basically just be moving 15 feet, unless Persephone has to move faster.
Okay.
Okay, so he's going up, keeping a good speed with it. Although, roll me a d20, my friend, as this thing is listing. It's hard to say which way it's turning.
Done afterwards, huh?
After the move, you're
Well,
turning, trying to keep
could
it.
have done what steady, and then it wouldn't have listed.
Yes. Just did everything you can to keep it going, you'd be fine. But it would turn immediately again. Back in this direction.
Yeah, that's fine.
As Samantha, hold on to the boat.
Okay, I can just turn it off.
You moving, keeping it steady. You're turning in ramming dudes. What are you doing?
I am going to try to go forward full speed and then turn to bring our boat parallel to Persephone, trying to
Okay.
make Persephone the middle and the new normal for our direction.
All right. Just turning and listing. You see Swiftall's boat listing a bit towards yours, but it seems like she's trying to keep a hold of it. As Persephone, Seems like your boats are finally going parallel with each other. Still some bloodshed going on. What are you doing with your boat?
God, this is a tight squeeze.
Parallel park.
Right. So I can only use one action for the sand skimmer, or do they get 2 actions?
You get 2 actions.
2 actions, perfect. So what she's? Oh no, that's 2 actions.
I got you.
I'm gonna turn a little bit more to the left, just cause I know I'm supposed to be going slower, and I don't want to cut off Swift Hollow and then just straight hit Samantha. So yeah, we're gonna try to parallel park this thing.
Alright, let's see if I selected you right. Oh, mamma mia. Oh boy, Omen. A lot of objects on the object layer, huh, Omen? Let's see. Oh god, where are you? Where are you, turny thing? Oh god, hold on me a sec. Oh boy, what a day. That's fine-ish. Nope. Oh god, it's all bad.
Just remember, Omen, you did this to yourself.
I did. Mistakes. There we go. Okay, God, whatever. We're gonna slide it old school, like the pioneers used to do. Bit by bit, charm.
I used to ride rocks.
Oh God, I know. Why are you there? There you go. Haha, you're there, and you're there, and you're also there over here, and you're off the boat, and you're dead, and we're just gonna rotate everything a little bit, and everyone's gonna be happy with that, just like that. And okay, you know what? We're just gonna do a little theater of the mind. It's fine. It's fine, y'all. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Like God.
And you're just keeping it that way, not moving forward or anything. Just sort of keeping speed. I guess it's moving slower because you do have the sails.
It is
All right.
moving slower. So for Stephanie, it's basically like trying not to let the other 2 ships ram into her.
Right. Okay. Cool. If that's it, then Swift Hollow, hold on to the ship. This thing's veering to and fro. But you managed to keep it from just turning and steering right into the other ship, just barely. What are you doing?
Let's see, who's still up? Dang, that guy's prone. Why'd you knock him prone?
This guy's unconscious. This dude is
Oh,
still
wait,
up.
this guy's
Everyone's
probably
being surrounded.
underneath, huh? That's what prone
Which
is.
one? Which one?
That red dot that's like next to coin.
That one's on top of the thing. You could definitely see it. It is prone. Being beat to death with a shovel. Or
Yeah,
unconscious with a
coin
shovel.
will beat him to death. Dang, you don't give me... I don't have a good angle. How do I turn one of the ballistas like 180?
You can just pull out your thing and shoot him with your own weapon. They're within range.
Yeah, you can just shoot.
Got
them.
your own thing.
Big crossbow! I don't want small crossbow. I want
He's kind of
precision.
joining you.
The
Off
sooner
the
he's
side of
dead,
the
the
boat.
sooner we get to fight the worm.
Give me
I'm
my
a
big
worm.
mommy crossbow. It is what I deserve.
And you
don't
can use the
want-
ballista to shoot the worm. What are you talking about? Come on.
Oh, okay. Monster Hunter. I don't want
Monster
my
Hunter,
small
exactly.
mommy
Make everybody mad at
crossbow. What am I attuned to? Oh, right, I'm attuned to that. And
Oh,
yeah,
golly.
Swift Hollow uses her line of interaction to pull out the hand crossbow, pulling out Reap. I think that's just the name of the attack, but
Mm-hmm.
whatever. She'll use her bonus action to take aim in this very chaotic situation and fire. Although I think it's just out of extended reach. Firing at this one, I think it's just out of my reach, so it'd be normal.
It's within 80 feet. Your crossbow
Okay.
shoots 80 feet. And also has allies next to it. Give me that shot. Give me the shot. Give me that
Give me
shot,
the
Swift
shot.
Hollow. Ooh.
30.
Ooh,
You doing your hold still thing, or are you just shooting normally?
Yeah, taking an action to, or bonus action to aim. Cunning action.
Well then. That will. How do you want to kill this thing?
Alright, says yeah, Swift Hollow's like usually using both of her hands trying to wrangle the ship together, but then also seeing how she's straightening out, she just keeps one hand on the helm, struggling with that. She pulls out the hand crossbow and then, and I guess in a sort of swashbuckler way, just points the hand crossbow, closes one eye to focus her aim before shooting it off and catching it. I guess it's facing towards Quildo, so it gets the arrow in the head, right through its 2 temples.
hits the ground hard next to you and starts to spill its tail over the edge.
He holsters her hand crossbow and puts 2 hands back on the helm. That'll be her turn.
Alrighty. As these dudes are just chilling, you are currently, the other one, the token holder is currently inside the belly of a beast, as this creature will rise up from its prone state. And it will try to the best of its ability, seeing that there's now an attacker bashing its face, will just try to do what it does normally. Its body shimmering with that glistening acidic power, trying to wrap around you, Corin. 15. Hot 15s tonight. Assume that won't do it. Swings its sword at you. Yeah! Hot swords too. So it will cut into you for 5 slashing damage. At least some of its movement to try and circle around you. Is that's all he can do, Tamarcon? Seems like your enemies are being felled one by one around you as your allies gather.
Yeah, it's Quildor. You crawl up here. You might be startled a little bit, but what looks like a gigantic blonde gorilla.
No, I'm fucking used to all the crazy shit that Tamarcon does.
As you just hear this like sigh, this harsh exhale through his nose, big old nostrils. And it's like, as he just sort of waves his hand as the gigantic visage of Samantha just wipes away. Looks like we have things under hand here. You take care of the worm. See if the others are well, yes? As he takes a step and just launches himself over the body that just hit the ground in front of him, hitting the bottom of the little skimmer thing here, leaping to the front of the boat as a step of wind kicks up around his feet as he is just launching himself far eastward out into the sand. Let's see. 45. Another 90 feet or so. Way the fuck out here.
Oh, wow.
Flying into the sand, not quite high enough, keeping it relatively low, is just making for distance, as just putting his shoulder down and just hitting the sand hard and just rolling through the sand and getting up to his feet. And it looks like Tamar is looking to just run the fuck out into the desert. As that's my turn.
All right. I think you are dead. How you looking, bud? Unconscious beneath a boat. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, he did.
That one, he's unconscious. That one's just super dead at this point. Boo-boo. Yep, as moving super fast, Tamarcon. Swift Hollow, beneath your boat, you feel this rise suddenly. As you see Tamarcon, your large monkey friend, dashing off into the desert, and just behind him, trying... How good is your best? Not particularly super great. Zipping up behind, easily out and up. You could probably outrace this thing, but you do see this massive form, this massive bulge, and again, those spikes running alongside of it. Oh god, come on. There we are. Making a big old beeline right in your direction, Tamarcon.
Nope. Guess I'm just chasing off the worm.
As Persephone comes to you, seems like most of the enemies have been killed or otherwise are flopping around unconscious on the boat. Seems as if, for the most part, the battle, except for maybe an enemy screaming on the other ship, is almost done.
Oh, well, that's good. And she's still trying to pursue me?
She's just trying to keep her place away from the spikes. She dropped her weapon. She's just pressed up against the railing. Keep herself from stepping on any more tacks, it seems.
Oh, well, she dropped her weapon, so I don't think I'm going to need... I can keep the spike growth up, it's fine.
That will stay.
But you fucking move
there.
That can stay, because Persephone, spikes don't hurt Persephone anymore. Not these spikes. So I'm gonna go back to the mast now that I got paralleled, parked with the skimmer, and I'm going to go back to a full sail so I don't get left behind by my friends.
All right. Doing some pirate action. Getting those sails up, getting those sails down at high speed with your little hastiness.
Oh god, and battle's almost over? Look, you said there's only activity on the other boat?
It seems like you can see Korn bouncing around, fighting at this dude over here, this bleeding acidic serpent. And these guys are fucking knocked off the ship down here. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, he was underneath. Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Is that one little old lady all alone?
So, you doing, Persephone?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the helm. Whatever. You know, everything's quiet on our boat. We're gonna drop the spikes. She's gonna hold on to the helm. The fairy's got another round of protecting her. He'll be fine.
All right. As Corin, this creature just tried, or I guess just succeeded in cutting into your side. You're bleeding a little bit, but not particularly too wounded. But it seems to be on closer to death's door than you are. What do you do?
I'm just gonna rub my finger over the cut where I'm bleeding slightly and just kind of sigh a little bit and just kind of not really paying much attention to her. Just kind of spin around while spinning my shovel. Just kind of whacks her in the face and just knocks her out.
As that does knock her out, bonk. Smacks her. You do feel a small little spray of acid. Ooh, not so small. Splash against your face as you smack her, but she does fall unconscious to the ground, and then the acid seems to spill out across the floor and sizzle out.
As I'm just kind of slide down the ladder. This ladder right here, right? Or is it just like the door?
It's there's a ladder. You can slide down. Basically, let you climb up and down without spending any extra movement. So you go down 10 feet, and then there's a door here. It looks like a little storeroom. So you've been climbing up and clambering on.
Yeah, let's just come back over at the helm next to my good friend Dusa over here. So, what next? That's basically just me.
All right, as Samantha or Medusa, what's next? You see Tamarkan dashing off one of the boats and running in a different direction, and a large mound chasing after him.
Now we do what we do best. As Samantha feeling almost the same sort of high that she felt taking on Obsidius, with this thing having hit her and shown just how powerful and threatening it is. She is just going, just sort of crack her back and conjure up that crown of energy upon her head with her action as this golden crown comes into being all around her serpents. And she's going to call out across the battlefield one more time. Purebloods, you have chosen wisely. Now the Vanguard will protect you from this worm. For favor, man the ballistas.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage. With advantage.
Did you just say
Oh.
for favor? Like the literal English translation of por favor?
Oh, por favor. Isn't por favor like please?
Yeah, but the
For
literal
favor.
word for word translation por is for,
Sí,
and favor
Medusa.
is favor.
Yeah, but I said for
Medusa
favor
was Hispanic
because...
all along.
No, it's not Hispanic. It's received pronunciation.
The rattling was just maracas.
As I done my sombrero of light.
We go back to Roca, and there's just Spanish guitar.
Dun, 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 dun. Welcome, the
Mariachi
Pharaoh of
dance.
Mexico. All right.
Tama!
Anything else we do?
I still have a little bit left.
Oh yeah, you got loud voice.
Yeah. See if you can bring that thing between the middle of us, can you?
I will respond when I also have loud voice. It will take until
As,
my turn.
As just feeling more and more just in her element and knowing that a fight is coming and just being able to just inflict violence and take power, Samantha finally just feeling alive is going to use her item interaction and reach into some of her side pockets and pull out a wonderful little thing and try to nestle it into her serpents. her orb of witness.
Okay. You turn it on as an action.
I know.
Click.
That's why I cast Crown of Stars, baby.
Is that it?
That's it for me. Come on, Landish. I mean, Quildor.
All right, Quildor. You can see on top of this ship this massive mound moving towards Tamar Khan, who might be doing something. Hard to say what he's doing at this point, I'm assuming.
Feels like over here.
Seems like this massive mound's just behind Tamar Khan. Where that big old line is.
Okay, we can go that way. I can't do anything until that, and I can't hold movement. There's
You can hold
literally nothing. Can't just like hold my turn, can I?
No, your action.
You can hold just
Yeah.
your movement.
Yeah.
Just jump it in the sand, I'll be fine. Cannonball.
I know, that's what I want to do. I want to just fucking jump right here.
Cannonball. What would Quildor do?
Yeah, Quildor, yep. Quildor jumps.
Cannonball.
Guys, it's fucking 11 o'clock. I'm trying to get rid of this goddamn worm. Fuck off.
Oh, I was
As
hoping
you
we were
jump
gonna fight it
into the
next week. What do you
sand.
mean?
And smash into the ground. Your legs sink in 2 feet as you are restrained in the sand. As the ships are moving on without you.
Yeah, that's fine. Then I'm gonna hold my action for that worm to come, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of it.
Alrighty. Let's see. Sand.
You gotta ride it and stab it, Quildor.
Yeah, these creatures are gonna start taking their turns, trying to come
No,
down
'cause
here.
I can't hold a bonus action too, can I?
You
This goes
can't
to the
make
end of
it
my
just
turn.
enough to make it there. This one comes down to here. They're all on their turn left, as their turn will end. As what are you guys doing? Boat time, Swift Hollow, boat time.
I'll go last. You two go first.
You hold your boat thing, sure, why
Yeah, no, I want to go first. Because I go first, I'm going to fucking kill everyone.
Why would you kill us?
Why? Oh, because I
You can
turned
tow
the
the
boat
boat.
one way and then the boat goes the other way.
not? Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is do steady, and
Whoops.
then the boat doesn't move.
Yeah, you can.
Doesn't
Yeah,
say that.
I mean that's what steady does. I think it'll still
Steady
move
Yeah,
is
that's
though.
what steady does.
Yeah, and that's just what you do for the boat.
Yeah, that'll stop the listing. Even with
All
the
you're
damage,
focusing
like,
on.
it says-
You steady the boat.
Checks text. That doesn't say
Basically,
that.
that's
Okay,
that is the
whatever.
intention of it.
Is
that what you do?
Put that in next time, God. So that the primordial beings that
So your
play this
tiny
weird
pea
game
brain that can't
understand.
read video game language. Yes, you
Ugh.
steady your thing. You
Yeah,
steady the boat, or are you
just
keeping it?
steady.
All right.
Well, actually, if I steady, I'm just gonna keep. Okay, you have to adjust course, Persephone.
Yeah.
Aren't I technically parallel? I thought theater.
You're trying to be
implied-
as theater
Oh.
minds. You can't be parallel. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna make a chevron as seeing Swift Hollow steady out, and Samantha's like looking to and fro for this worm moving, I guess, towards Tamar Khan. She is also just gonna try to hold it steady and just try to make sure that she doesn't lose where her GoPro is. And hope Persephone will also hold it steady and straighten out, so we have a death pocket to fight this thing in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steady, steady, steady.
Yeah, I don't need to go anywhere. Yeah, let's steady the boats.
Got 1 sec. All right, keeping them nice and steady. Finally working in tandem. As Swift Hollow, it would come to your turn. Watching this large mound move toward Tamarkan is.
Wow, I'd love to do something, but unfortunately, if I leave the helm, it's just going to list somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should just
Poor
abandon the
Swift
ship.
Hollow. Poor Swift Hollow on this boat by herself.
She was left alone.
See, it'd be really easy if I just didn't care about the boat. Actually, I don't have to care about the boat.
You don't have to care about the boat. You're Swift
I don't
Hollow.
have to care about the boat. What am I doing?
Right, you're so
There's
fine.
no-
What am I
there's no
doing?
hostages on- There's no
Hostage
hostages. But it is the only, like, I guess there's some ballistas on my boat you can
Yeah, I
take.
don't give a shit. I can't command the ship and the ballista, my guy.
Let's see. Save move there. Got plenty of speed. I'd say give me an athletics check as you're trying to make a jump that's pretty far beyond your jump range. Not strong, girl.
It's okay. I believe in me. You got this, Swift Hollow. Wait, push comes to shove.
Oh!
Okay, yeah, push comes to shove.
As you will reach just the edge of the ship and you will hit the sand.
How much damage do I take?
You don't take any damage. You just hit the ground. It's surprisingly soft beneath your feet, and then 5 feet of your height gets pulled down the sand as you are restrained in the sand.
As Swift Hollow falls down, as the heat of the sand and the encroaching danger of the worm happens, Swift Hollow dissolves into black feathers and absconds such a fate as she teleports.
Ooh.
Calling the power of her talisman and teleports up here.
I think that only works on damage.
It does? I am taking damage.
No, you just got sunk into the sand.
Took no damage.
What's the
That's how many
5
feet
1d4?
you sunk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright.
As you fall on poof into the sand,
Ooh.
getting sunk.
Oh god. Swift Hollow's gonna be the Ghost Rider wind and then run myself over with my own car person. Swift
I mean, there is a way to get you.
Is she
There is a way to
under-
get yourself out of there.
Is she under the sand, like no longer visible under?
Like, so
Swift
she's 6
Hollow
feet tall,
uses her
so-
bonus action
Thankfully she's
to
tall.
dash.
So she's 6 feet fucking tall. Okay.
Swift Hollow uses her bonus action to dash and just...
When you
Well,
fall in the sand, you get surrounded, you're restrained, you have to use your action to break out. It's a
Alright,
straight up
use my
strength
action
check,
to break out.
unfortunately,
How
as
much is it? Oh, fuck.
I know.
That's okay,
DC,
I have advantage.
15. You do,
Oh,
you do.
fuck.
I believe in you.
Oh, fuck.
Pure power.
I have -1.
Pure
Said
power.
the being.
Oh, not quite. Tearing at the sand, it's too much, too thick. You'd be able to get it if it was shallower, but you jumped in way too deep.
I'm sure it's fine. It's okay. Let me get hit by the boat, and then I'll go teleport.
That's funny. I love it. You could also. I mean, you could
I
do
could also
the edgy
just
thing.
choose to stab myself, couldn't I?
Yeah.
That's the cheesy thing.
I refuse my fate.
Literally, I do. I look at you trying to kill me. Nah, me first.
Sure, you can
Psych.
just stab yourself if you want and use your reaction to teleport to a place you can see.
Sure, I'll just do that. It's much easier.
Stab yourself and
Embraces
then.
death, but doesn't. Fuck you.
I'm assuming it's like 1 point of damage. Just cut yourself slightly.
Yeah.
Ow.
No, she crits herself.
Or she could just make
Apply
it
sneak
completely
attack.
lethal. Just aim it at her throat and then disappear.
50, no.
All right, guys. I fell off the boat. Later, y'all.
Alright.
All right. As you land the boat. Whew.
It's okay, the boat can die.
All right. And that's it. These boys
And
down
I guess she
here.
readies. I guess she readies Squall. She gets to pull out her pocket pistol.
Oh yeah, fucking test it on a purple worm. Fuck yes.
Yes, do it.
I can't wait to see how it goes next week. It's gonna be great.
I will say, it did take your action to hurt yourself to get out of there. You can't just be like, I do 1 damage myself for free.
Hey.
But you
you
still have
know,
your.
she pulls
you
it
get the
out.
gun at the flourish, yeah. Pulled out, ready to go. All right.
Yeah, she
As
kills it.
these, at the command, these Yonti grab onto the ballistas, aiming. You're all dead. Demarcan. Turning it back around to you here at this pivotal moment. What are you doing? It seems like your allies are gathering forces.
I'm gonna be the dick, but yeah, I call on a small bit of magic. Throat starts to glow as I turn back, and this strange, deep, guttural voice rings out through the area. It's also got a little bit of thaumaturgy. Don't I? I do, okay.
You do.
Two out of 3 of my characters got it. I always forget which one doesn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
So I turn back and just call out, "Your time is over! And do not stick innocent lives on glory! See to them first! And not worry of me!" As I start to continue running out, giving out a big ol' a big ol' monkey yelp into the day as I continue to run out into the sand. A little bit more key under my step. I took my action to cast Thaumaturgy as I dash another 90 feet out into the desert, swinging my bar as I go, as it seems like I'm just scooping up sand on either side of me, basically slashing it through the sand as I go, trying to lure this thing away. Because there's people
Alright.
on the boat, and the boats are knackered. There's innocent people, and you're trying to throw the worm towards them! Cut it out!
But the poison!
The worm is chasing after the boats. The boats are gonna keep moving.
Fine.
But all
Luring
right.
them the other way.
Let's see.
Don't worry, maybe the
All right.
boat will list. Maybe our boat will list the other way too. Towards you.
As indeed,
As I am.
Tamarkan dashing off the other direction, the big mound. After splashing in the sand and the loud calling, tearing, there's a moment where the mound sort of swirls in space. And then... continues after the screeching loud thing. Hesitating for a moment, it seems. But after some time passes, at Tamarkan's incredibly high speed, you would see him sort of not quite fading off. He goes up and down these sand dunes, this massive shape going after him. But with a bit of evasion, how do you evade this thing, Tamarkan, as it tears itself away from you?
As I go quite a ways. I run for a good 20 minutes or so. As feel like basically lost sight of the ships back behind me. Seeing this thing still chasing me. Not quite the last bit of my magic, but almost the last bit of my magic. Cast a bit of jump on myself, slam my bar into the ground, and then just launch myself about 60 or so feet away. And as I hit the sand, land the softest of touches. A slow fall, and some elven boots. Elven sandals. That make my footfalls not make a single sound.
As give me a stealth check with advantage. You'll be landing very softly, but the sound is only a part of it.
Yeah. 29.
As you land softly on the ground, there's this moment where this massive shape, now starting to give it some distance, catches up to you, closer, 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 and then just beneath your feet, rises up, spikes running between your legs around you, and then continues to swim off, and then fades. And you're left standing in the middle of an empty, scorched desert.
You've had your fill. And I even saved your life today, it seems. Maybe not be so ornery next time. Where did they go? I start to slowly walk my way back without near a sound.
All right.
Giving my allies times to free the peoples. As I also take a leak out in the desert.
As the mound starts moving its way back. What's up, Persephone? As this takes about 20 minutes for him to basically spend this time just getting the hell away from you guys.
That's okay. There's a boat on man, and Persephone doesn't like that. So she's just gonna zip to the back and call for her ever so faithful Fey maiden. Yeah, she. As I'm gonna cast Conjure Woodland Beings at the helm.
Oh, she's
of
gonna
the boat.
hate you for bringing her to the desert.
Yeah, she is.
Isn't she like a water hag?
Let's see. Oh, God.
Yeah, but
Here we
I
are.
know her by name.
Oh, I know. I'm just fucking with you.
As the boat begins to rock and sway, you see immediately out of the air like a splash of water, just an oasis immediately out of the center of this boat as this shriveled, hunched over looking mossy creature lands on the deck.
Where am I? Whoa! Whoa! What is this? What is? Why is it so dry? Oh, dearie! Welcome, welcome!
And she just sort of waves and then sees this wheel spinning wildly in front of her and puts her hand down and then catches it immediately with this incredible, surprisingly amount of strength.
Well, that's a funny-looking toy.
As she starts turning it sort of to and fro, the ship starts to turn and veer in all sorts of directions, but it seems like she eventually gets a handle on it and just keeps it as best possible beside you.
What is this game we're playing? Where's all the water?
We're playing follow the leader. Follow my boat.
I don't like this game, but I'll play it because of you, you sweet ugly child.
Thank you, Yaya.
You poor ugly girl.
And
I
I
take
zip
pity
back.
on you.
I zip back to my helm.
As yet, after it seems like the battle has come to an end, some of these creatures knocked unconscious, others...
Oh no, I died in the
and-
desert.
Oh yeah, you're still
Goldar
prone in
drowned.
there.
Oh, you wait.
Goldar, you feel yourself drifting away, or you're restrained in the sand. You see the ship's drifting away slowly. What do you do, Goldar?
I will.
My
Let's see if I read this right. So I can do
Since I
that.
technically go beforehand, can I go like pick him up?
You wanna go jump in and get him?
No, I can get out.
Have 40 feet of movement. Oh, that's not what's going. Good luck, Corbin. I believe in you.
Never mind.
See yourself drifting away in the sand, Goldar. What do you do? Tumbling, rolling, sand covering your little legs.
Oh, which one is it? I thought I could use my fighting spirits towards teleporting.
You can.
Yeah, so I'll use 2 of them. And I will pop into the Yaja Gigi boat.
Okay.
And I will spend the next 20 minutes going down below and fucking repairing it so it stops being a fucking little bitch of a boat. Although there's no technical rules on the character sheet on how to fix the boat, but
Oh yeah, that just takes
Sand
literally
Whisperer.
how do you fix a boat?
fix the boat. Yeah.
Oh, isn't there spare planks?
I just
everywhere or
grab
something?
wooden planks out of a wooden barrel and just start smacking them
Yeah.
against the boat.
Mhm.
We're
Oh,
literally
he's been
playing
playing too much Sea of Thieves.
guys.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Basically, as I'm assuming
Fuck it up
at
and
this point, y'all are basically dismantling some of the sails so you aren't cascading over all the sand waves while you're trying to repair the boat. You're kind of like coming to something. There's no anchors. It's mostly just finding a sand dune to slow yourself next to and lower your sails until they no longer
Is there
catch
any, like-
wind. So you can
Is there like any like rocky outcroppings or anything nearby?
not a
Is it
whole
literally
lot
just
here,
sand?
maybe a few, but yeah, it's literally just sand. It's basically you can come to a stop if you find a thick enough dune and slow yourself down by lifting your sails.
Or
It is your
make a U-turn?
You what?
Are we not just going to make a U-turn and go back?
And you can if you want. Just
like
one of your
3
boats is
hours from here,
one
right?
of your boats is currently going a little crazy. It's going to take Cooler a bit of time and some effort. With some help, possibly might need it.
I can hop over and help them. I can hop in here, hop to there, and then how is that? Is that like 40 or 45?
Assuming you could also just like, now there's no combat going on, carefully steer the ships next to each other. One that might be bumping into yours a little wildly, but it's not particularly big. Yep, you guys
Eventually,
get some time.
I'll help them.
Yeah, get over and basically be shoveling sand out from the bottom of this thing. Again, it's not a very big ship. It's plenty of planks you guys can sort of repurpose. With the 2 of you, I will either ask for a with how okay, you know what? Because you guys are moving across sand, it takes a lot of physical effort. I'm gonna ask for either a Tinker Tools check, a vehicle proficiency check, or a just straight up strength check. If you have either of those tools, you can give me strength with them. So if you got neither of those tools, just straight up strength check.
Okay.
If you're helping,
Can I-
advantage.
Can I cook them? Can I cook the sand?
I mean, you can certainly eat it.
Shadow.
I'll give them help. 'Cause I don't have like, most of the night.
Sure, roll that with advantage. Just see how good you do. How good you do, Sand Whisperer. Okay. Yep.
23.
Thankfully, with your guys' combined strength, shoveling sand out and pushing planks up against the inner side and basically using some rudimentary tools, just sealing it up, just some spikes, it looks like, maybe some pieces of the actual wood itself, or something that's broken off as something as rudimentary like nail. Keeping these boards up, it still spills sand inside. You guys don't really have the tools to fix this on hand, but you do have what are generally seem to be a pretty good handle on the situation, to where it's no longer veering, just enough to heal this thing a little bit, maybe just enough to get past that breaking point, and now it sort of handles fine.
Wait, you mean we heal it by 1 HP because that's all we need for a drop to the
You did
damage?
you basically you did 10 healing over the course of 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Using Tinker Tool rules.
See, ladies and gentlemen, this is when mending comes in handy. Some people think it's a pointless cantrip. but
I'm
it
just
will
saying,
save you in this moment.
a little Milo boy has some Tinker Tools, really good at fixing stuff. Y'all use your tools. Get some
Yeah.
tools, y'all.
Yeah.
As indeed.
Yeah.
As you guys would spend some time, assuming it seems like the thing's steady out, and it sounds like you can see the trail. I guess if you turn around, spend some time veering back, the wind's kind of blowing it away, but you can definitely see the very obvious path left by Tamar Khan if you wish to pursue after him. But otherwise, you guys are free to do as you wish. You guys just gonna chill for a bit, find Tamar Khan, and want to talk to anyone for, because otherwise session's coming to a close.
Are we gonna stop the boats?
I don't know. What are you guys doing?
Assume you stopped him to at least fix them, right?
Sure.
No,
Slowed them way down.
We slowed up. Yeah, we do active repairs as we're sailing. We'll just
That's just where you turn.
We probably like
Yeah,
also
just
turn
U-turn.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you turn. There you go.
No, there we
I
go.
simply go back to where we were, see where the trail was. Can't find them after a little bit. Take a little short rest. Shift. Track these motherfuckers down. I'm assuming they're within 20 miles or so within the next hour.
Oh, definitely. You'd feel that
Track.
ping in the direction and that smell, that scent, that however you sense them.
Yeah. If I sense they're going back to the city, just make my way back. Walking upon the sand.
Sure. That'll do. That'll do, y'all. That'll do.
Or I'll run into them. Either way.
Are you guys heading to
we're-
Tempest Con or are you heading towards the
Yeah,
city?
we're setting an intercept course to pick up Tamarcon.
Okay. As you'll feel them getting closer to Tamarcon, your pace isn't to be too fast. You know they're going to reach you eventually. Just sort of enjoying the long sea before you. Normally impassable by man on foot, but here you are with your magic ring, able to do so.
Yeah.
Watching in the distance as these sand dunes seem to move, and between them spikes, the same spikes you'd seen before, begin to rise and fall. There's still more danger in this desert, but it seems like you've gotten past this first obstacle. As eventually we'll rejoin next session with the Valiant Vanguard meeting up back in the Great White Sea. It seems to be with some new allies and potential prisoners aboard their ships, those that seem, well, unsettlingly dedicated to this strange living god they seem to worship. As that, after a long, goofy fucking fight, is where we will end tonight's session.
I'm assuming all the hostages are dead, right? We killed them? Got them?
No, they're actually all snake people now.
They've been converted.
Good shit.
I love this messy map. It was so fun. Just breaking it.
That was great.
Very nicely.
Oh
done.
no,
Very
now the
nicely
sand's
done.
going
Good
the
shit.
other direction.
God,
Oh, God.
Fucking all rolled like hot garbage on all our perspective
Everyone
checks
did,
on
man.
everything. Every time we tried. We tried so much too. That was good.
That's why you don't talk,
Okay.
you just use your sword.
No.
Thank you.
And tried, you did
all
good.
So much for
That's not
hanging
the
out
lesson
with
to
us.
learn. No.
With our crazy fucking sand skimming adventure, and got some fucking
Ah! Ah!
real. What the fuck are you doing? Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's all we've got for you tonight. We will be back with some more Heroes of Thylia this Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. With some fun stuff going on there. Be sure to check out the VODs of the podcast for catching up, perhaps. And yeah, thanks so much for hanging out. Thank you, Johnny Thunder, for the continued support. 44 months, Jesus. And Hark Morpher, thanks so much for following and hanging out. And Pyrus Manaverse, thanks so much for hosting. Yeah, feel free to join the Discord or follow on Twitter for any updates or changes to the schedule in terms of our games. But we should be on next Thursday for more Song of Rapture as well. So a final thanks so much for hanging out, and I hope to see you again next time. And as always, may your dice roll 20s, and you always make your saves.
Maybe y'all.
Toodles.
Bye.
We're like over 50%.